Yeah, you know the rules. Bring proof or bring silence. Yeah. They show up loud, talk tough, claim they're guided by science, but the second you ask for measurements, they crumble in defiance. I say, show me experiments, observable, testable, clear, but they dodge like shadows at daylight, disappear when truth is near. Start throwing insults like they're evidence, funny but predictable, cause when proof ain't in the arsenal, the anger gets political. I stay grounded in the measurable, the method that don't bend, but they rather fight with feelings than let real data defend. You want debate? Cool, bring facts that you can verify, but talking loud without experiments, that's just noise amplified. Prove it or move it, simple as that, no excuse. If you ain't got evidence, then spare me the verbal abuse. I'm standing on science, repeatable, solid and true. If you can't demonstrate the claim, what you say ain't coming through. Prove it or move it, yeah, that's the rule of the game. No data, no dialogue, step back and stay in your lane. Ask them for curvature tests, suddenly they get emotional. Ask them for rotation proof, reactions borderline devotional. They defend their theory like religion, faith-based and untouchable. But the minute you request a demonstration, the vibe gets uncomfortable. I ain't threatening their worldview, I'm holding up a mirror. But reflection's a scary thing when the picture isn't clearer. I'm not hostile, I'm honest, I want science that's accountable. But they'd rather throw a tantrum than admit the claim's unfoundable. I'm not here to worship models built on theory from the past. Show me tests, not textbooks, physical proof that lasts. Prove it or move it, simple as that, no excuse. If you ain't got evidence, then spare me the verbal abuse. I'm standing on science, repeatable, solid and true. If you can't demonstrate the claim, what you say ain't coming through. Prove it or move it, yeah, that's the rule of the game. No data, no dialogue, step back and stay in your lane. Debate ain't war, it's questions with structure. But you can't build a case on belief and conjecture. Show me something testable or show me the door, but don't show up with insults like I ain't heard them before. Prove it or move it, bring experiments, not rage. I'm standing with the evidence, you just standing on a stage. If truth is what you're claiming, then truth should be displayed. No test, no trust, that's how real science is made. Prove it or move it, choose one. Code.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis Podcast. This is your host, Vikka, Draziv. Guys, welcome to the show. And yes, what an awesome topic and conversation we have got today. Hope you guys are doing great after another week. And yes, we are in a new cycle of the moon, right? So hope it started with positive, because the last moon cycle was awesome, crazy, a mix, but it was required, right? You all know that I love the stars, right? And the luminaries and what they do, right? It tells you a lot even before things happen, right? So that's the best part about it, right? Many people don't want to believe in astrology or the movements of the luminaries and what angles they're giving you and what they're trying to tell you. Everything being cyclic. So cycles, right? Starts and completion of cycles, right? And we were in the ninth year, right, according to numerology. So it's completion of many things. You could see that in the world today too, like people are opposing, going against the controller of two, right? In a way, there are places that people are like, questioning the authorities, right? The self-proclaimed one, especially in every field, right, needs to be questioned, needs to be audited, right? And I think that was the last cycle too. So yeah, it's gonna continue. New moon with the new energies, and let's see what this cycle have got for us. We are almost at the end of this year and the coming one. So that would be great. But it's good to see how things are rolling out, right? Nothing is a surprise, nothing is a casualty. Things happen because they need to happen, because it's time, right? So all I could say is also, right, the people who were like pretending to be were like victims and all this stuff and all this, like, it's all gone, right? We don't give a fuck. Right? Whatever happened, everybody saw it, right? So that's the best part. There is not going to be any kind of like a farewell party to anybody, right? If they don't resonate with us. So yeah, guys, get your popcorn, get your spliff, wine, whatever makes you comfortable. And tonight we'll be discussing Dr. Shiva's Psyop falls apart. And I could say thanks to the creator that it did fall apart, right? Because that shit was going in some ugly places, right? If that thing would have evolved like how TFE would, and we all know why TFE evolved that way, because we had people here in the community who made sure that this happened. So that's a very big example what TFE could have been. What is the state of Dr. Shiva shit? Ugly shit, right? So we want to get into it tonight. We'll see what we can cover. So anybody who wants to jump in and add to the conversation, the link is there. Except the trolls, right? And finally, we could be able to get back to this Shiva shit because we all got diverted because of the drama of David Weiss and the supporters around, like, you know, the so-called, right? So now that the drama is past, we can get back to where we were with Dr. Shiva, right? So I'm going to play that video, which we couldn't because that's when the drama started, because during that playing this video, so at least we can hear the video again, because here I wanted to show what the fuck Dr. Shiva is or could be, right? Before we get into the actual thing of what is the experiment, what they were trying to do, right? So this was the video when all the drama and the spectacle started, right? So let's play this. Let's play this.
Is getting ready to be involved in another hit piece. Dave Weiss does is with sketchy people. We know that he met Will Duffy in December of 2023, and he was supposed to do a debate with him in January of 2024.
My name is Will Duffy. I'm the pastor of Agape Kingdom Fellowship in Colorado. This discussion was originally supposed to be me and Dave Weiss, who is best.
And the best part is this video, this clip, I took from TikTok to show what the fuck was up with Dr. Shiva, right? And all this was just there in that clip. And all the shit of David Weiss happening because of this clip, maybe it was supposed to happen. For whatever reason, it was supposed to happen and it happened, right?
Best known as Flat Earth Dave, but I believe he's traveling and couldn't make it. So Austin, thanks for stepping in. And if this conversation ends up not going well for you, go ahead and blame Dave for pawning me off on you, okay?
What I'm saying is, if you want me to help facilitate this, I will.
That'd be awesome.
I'm saying that why don't we get, and I'll sponsor it right here in Cambridge. I have a big office here,
Okay.
big room. We can hold a conference, okay? Let's bring 20 people physicists from MIT, Harvard, right here. I'll call a bunch of people up. You bring 20 people.
Okay.
I'll help chair this meeting, and we'll use all the whiteboards I have.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Yeah. And Jay R. Hartley saying, Duffy out, Dr. Shiva in. Yeah. Thanks to whom? To whom? Thanks to whom?
Right here in our big room.
Awesome.
Here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That'd be awesome.
And we will propose this experiment, and everyone go around the room and agree to the exact experimental dynamics, exact equipment, everything, how we'll measure everything. Okay? So we have to agree to that experiment. All right?
That's one experiment.
Let's just start there.
Okay.
Let's just start there. Let's just do one fucking experiment right, okay? That everyone agrees to. And then we go do that experiment, and you will have, I'm proposing you do 20 iterations of that experiment. On each team, you have a flat earther and an MIT physicist, okay?
Okay.
Or a non-flat earther. And so therefore everyone's checking each other, and everyone's supposed to follow that protocol that we all agreed to in my room here in Cambridge to.
And yeah, in the end, it was happening the same shit. There were 3 or 4 Globers and there was 1 flat earther. And that was also nobody known. And like, so same shit. Like TFE. There was no really flat earther on TFE trip. Seeing it right now from this position right now with all the shit that happened with TFE, there was no fucking flat earther there. No one.
The letter. And if someone doesn't, that data gets thrown out because that means someone's trying to violate the agreed upon manifesto of how to do this research.
There's a new sheriff in town. Me. There's a new sheriff in town. Me.
Who was the old sheriff? Was Duffy. Now we have the new sheriff in town. So these are all different, like, tweets and everything. Like, I'm not going to read it out or whatever, but I'll just play it. Yeah. So these are just some Twitter exchanges of people chatting, what's happening, like, I think we spoke a little the last time, right? Austin trying to get in because Dave wanted to send him because he again thought he was the smartest guy. Still thinks that he's the smartest guy even after he became a victim, wanted to send him there, right? So all these different tweets and people speaking about this guy named Man of Stone. Oh, yeah. Dave was there again saying on Vlad's screen, yeah, Man of Stone is the guy. He backed out, but the Man of Stone is the guy. For fuck's sake. If that was his experiment and Dave is saying that was the Man of Stone was the guy, oh my God. This is pure bullshit. So this is a clip from a YouTube, right? I'm not claiming everything to be right here, but it's a clip from TikTok, right? I took this clip was just to show Dr. Shiva shit, right? And few things here and there. But yeah, I'll let it play.
I've been a fighter. That's me burning the South African flag on the steps of MIT. I've been a revolutionary fighter. That's me when I led a 5,000 person march onto the steps of MIT as an 18-year-old kid, because MIT had investments in racist South Africa. And we weren't talking about, we shall overcome. No, our slogan was apartheid in South Africa, burn it to the ground. You see, that's a revolutionary slogan. I'm a triple threat, scientist, inventor, and a fighter. So you screwed with the wrong guy. And I'm reasonably good looking and I'm articulate. That bugs you guys. That's why my views are growing. And there should be 10 million. We need to build a freaking revolutionary movement. Let go of the Kennedys. And we're going to destroy them today. And you know what? We're going to split this movement because there has been no movement at all. The real movement.
Wasn't this guy was like introduced also in a way like getting hyped up with that C thing, right? In 2020, 2019 and all this shit. So yeah, he have all the potentials of being like a gatekeeper, a false prophet, a savior, or a hero. We will require a hero whenever they need one, right? Have all the potentials, right? A guy trying to save humanity, right?
Is revolutionary, or you suck up to the establishment. So if you want to talk about splitting the movement, go suck up to Robbie Kennedy all day long. We are splitting the movement. We're splitting the movement in a revolutionary approach.
My buddy Dr. Shiva, who invented email, ran for Senate against Elizabeth Warren. Legendary guy. I have him on the stream all the time.
So I want to know, do you have any skeletons? Do you have any skeletons in your closet?
I have no skeletons in my closet because I'm such a controversial guy.
No
Everything's
skeletons.
out there. Let's talk about everything. But the issue is not about you or me, Howie.
Have you ever been arrested?
Howie, this is not about you or me.
Shiva, have you ever been arrested?
Howie, this is not about you or me.
Yes or no? Have
It's
you
not
been
about you or
arrested?
me. What this is about
Have
is,
you
do
been
you want to beat
arrested?
Elizabeth Warren?
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture.
This
on
is
the
not
screen-
about
on the
this is
screen
not about
behind
you or me.
us.
This is about Elizabeth Warren.
I'm going to show you a picture on the screen. I want to know if you've been.
No, this has nothing to do with you or me. This has to do with Elizabeth
I want to know
Warren.
if you've been arrested.
This is not about you or me.
Okay, so you're not going to answer that
No,
question.
I'm going to talk about, because you're making stuff up about excrement and all, and that's not true. Let's talk about Elizabeth Warren. Do you want to talk about that?
Let's talk about your.
You got to
okay.
attack Alex Jones, but you don't want to talk about Elizabeth Warren, and you act as though you do. Are you interested in defeating her?
Are you interested in talking
are you
about
interested
your
in
record? Do you think what's
what
gonna
about
happen-
your
what's gonna
record?
happen-
What about
what's
your
gonna happen when
record?
This is on the front page of the Boston
What
Globe.
about your record
What-
of supporting Jeff Deal, who photoshopped pictures?
What
about your record?
That's a lie.
You were there at the
That
meeting.
is an absolute
There's a
lie.
picture of you. There's a hanging third hand.
That's another lie.
That's
another
a-
lie.
that's a hand?
You lied about being arrested.
You lied.
You lied about
you lied
photoshopping
about the
picture.
fact that you were at a meeting. He didn't shake his hand. There's a third dangling hand.
Your girlfriend. He came
Let's
in
talk
here and
about
he flew
the hand.
into an out of control
Let's talk
rage.
about your hand.
He stated
That
that
you
as
were
soon
at a
as he entered
meeting
the house.
and you're
What the
supporting
bleep?
Jeff Deal.
You left me.
Jeff
You
Deal
left the
has no
bleeping
chance
air
of winning,
conditioning on.
and you want
What
to
the
support
bleep
Jeff
is
Deal.
your problem? Green stated to me that she asked
See, you're
I
you don't
adore
wanna- you don't
I
wanna
to
fight.
calm down, and that he began to push and shove
Hey,
her
Howie,
with
do you wanna
both
fight?
hands.
Do you want to stop Jeff Deal?
She appeared to be
wanna
extremely
support
upset.
Baker
This
and
is
Jeff
from the
Deal?
Belmont PD.
Whatever.
Her
You
face
don't
was
wanna
red,
fight.
and
Yeah, so it's supposed to be that newspaper article where he's supposed to be arrested for domestic violence, right? So, alrighty, we don't know how true it, but this was supposed to be on a fucking TV channel where he's fucking arguing. That guy, the interviewer is really arguing and telling him to, like, you know, fucking tell the truth that he's a violent person. Like, and you can see sometime in its talks.
she was breathing rapidly.
do you
When I
wanna
spoke
stop,
to her,
Jeff?
she
You
began
wanna
to
stop?
cry several times and had difficulty speaking to
Howie,
me.
this
So
is not-
how are you going to defend
You know
this
what?
when she accuses you of domestic abuse?
How are you going to stop it when they accuse?
Here's what your girlfriend said. This is her
Howie, did you have
affidavit
any interest for me to
for
be on the
a
show?
this is yes this
No,
is
you
her
did.
affidavit.
You had 4 months.
I
over
have
and over
watched
again.
this
Steve was
man
gracious,
become
and
a
you never wanted to be on the
serious
show
and
because you get
chronic
paid by Jeff
abuser.
Deal.
This is your
You get paid by
girlfriend.
Jeff on those
You've
guys.
taken on the cops. You take on your girlfriend too.
Wait a minute.
By the way,
take on,
you
who do you take on?
assaulted
You
a Belmont
support
police
a fake
officer.
Trumper. You support a fake Trumper.
This
You
man
support a
needs
fake Trumper, and
psychiatric
you live under this
evaluation
thing,
and
and you
help,
play
or who
Donald
knows
Trump.
what.
A psychiatric evaluation. Holy shit.
Will happen to him
Hey,
long
Howie,
after
do you
I'm
wanna
gone. This
support-
is your girl.
you can
This
keep
is your
playing your
girlfriend.
game, but it's clear
he needs
you're
professional
not
help. I hope
interested.
he gets it.
Yeah,
all
you
I
need-
want for
Howie,
him
do you
is
wanna
to
be-
not
do
be
you wanna
able
be-
to
do you wanna
contact
be
or
Elizabeth
see me
Warren?
again.
Do you wanna be
That's all I want. I am afraid of him. I
Hey,
am
Howie,
terrified.
do you
He has
wanna
so
be
much hate
Elizabeth
inside
Warren?
of him and cannot
And
control
I
his
think you can
anger.
identify-
He is a very
Howie.
scary.
Oh yeah, we can see that even in the video with the flat earthers, and He cannot control his, yeah.
This
man,
is
when he
really
gets
cool,
this
right?
way,
You
he
think you're so-
belongs in
you think you're so
McLean's.
smart, but you don't
McLean's
want to support
Hospital,
the fact that you're supporting
a
guys
hospital
Photoshops-
facility in Belmont for the
Photoshops-
mentally ill.
Right, Photoshop things.
The
gets it out there.
the woman said
lies that he's a chairman.
Now that you were here,
that's
she
what you're
said this to
supporting.
the police. Now
That's
that
what you're
you were
doing,
here,
Howie.
you better
want to
take him
support
with
a liar,
you because I don't know
know
what
I
he
caught
will
you
do
with
when he
your hand-
realizes
I caught you
I
with your
called the
hands.
police.
I caught you
We're going to take
red-handed,
we're going to take
Howie.
a
You
break
got caught
here, and
red-handed.
everything is going to be posted at HowieCarShow.com. The affidavit for the restraining order and the police report. He was arrested for domestic abuse and battery.
and you were
2005.
What does this article say here, Farrell? Shiva Ayyadurai, founder of Millennium and inventor of the White House encryption system. When President Clinton needed a reliable encryption system for his electronic mail, he turned to Mr. Ayyadurai, whose classification system beat. That was an honor. I won a competition. I worked with the Clintons? No, the Clintons wanted me. The Clintons wanted me. The Clintons wanted me. How dare you say that I run a vaccine company? So anyone out there, I want everyone's names.
So we all could see if this would have evolved similar to TFE, where this shit was going. Right? You guys can have some ideas.
Anyone who says I run a vaccine company.
So you guys see the deception. You guys see the deception. He was supposed to be the guy. I don't want to go in so much detail about all this stuff with C and everything with 2019 and all the everything, the JB jab and every shit. But he was supposed to be one of the guy, the heroes, who was trying to save so many people. And according to all this shit, it looks like he's behind the fucking companies who's making that shit, right? So it's very difficult to fucking trust. People might sometimes looks like they are doing something good. That's why people have to be open about any possibilities of anyone fucking playing around and showing who they are not. Right? So I'm glad I finally could play this video, because this is the time when Mr. Austin and Mr. Dave Weiss appeared here during this video I wanted to play. So finally fucking I can play it. Right? So this was just a short clip to show the possibilities of what this guy is or could be, was trying to get involved with Flat Earth. Think about it, guys. And then we have people like Dave Weiss facilitating, like he facilitated Will Duffy. Yeah, but he had enough of backlash from TFE to not get too much involved with this shit, right? It would have been the same shit. So, yeah. I'm gonna take this thing out. And we're gonna get to the first meeting, the so-called meeting of these people trying to put up an experiment to prove or disprove Flat Earth. After Dave White didn't show up for whatever reason, and he sent Austin for whatever reason, but they both looks like they threw out also Austin, right? So maybe it was good luck for him that they threw him out, right? Also, McToon was involved, right? And I don't know how the fuck these other people got there in it, right? As I said, who the fuck was electing these people, or who the fuck was selecting these people? Because the guy who Dave was mentioning, the Man of Stone, turned out to be a fucking shitty, next to shitty experiment, right? This is the thing, how hard fucking it is for these people to come up with a decent fucking experiment and not get like all messed up and twisted and in fucking numbers and maths and all this shit, because this is what they have. They don't have real proof of globe. They have excuses, right? And what are these fucking even flat earthers? Some of them were doing like they think they're showing to the world they're doing the truth seeking and social work of being representative of flat earth. Why the fuck they don't come up with a good experiment? Yeah, instead of inviting these shitty fucking sellouts, gatekeepers, conmans, depending on them to do a fucking experiment. Why? Because the rest of you are too fucking busy grifting. Yeah, we don't have fucking one group or organization in flat earth community can do some decent experiment involving the globers if you want to. Why are the globers who always want to fucking make these kind of experiments? And these so-called known flat earthers are there like, yeah, we're gonna do experiment on your expenses, on your exposure, on your what? So instead of fucking doing and showing how we are doing a social work for flat earth and truth seeking, go and fucking organize some good shit, right? If you're so much being representatives, right, and truth seekers who are leading the community, for fuck's sake, yeah, the grifting is not gonna stop for sure. Yeah, do the fucking grifting, but also do some good work. Yeah. For rest of everything, you guys have got all the resources you need to fucking go and be a protagonist anywhere. Speaking, Earth is flat. For fuck's sake. I'm gonna play this.
Round versus flat Earth Summit, and we're going to be applying the scientific method. Let's go to video, Suresh. So we have a set of panelists here, and I'll give you the background, and then we're going to jump right into this. There's a very, very important question about, it's not about flat or globe Earth, and I'll explain how I got involved in this. Let me just bring up the agenda here. We put together an agenda for this morning and bring it up. Okay. Okay, so let me just go through the agenda here for today. We have a lot to cover, but the official name of this we did was Round versus Flat Earth Summit, applying the scientific method. We have 3 people on the Round Earth team, and we're supposed to have 3 people on the Flat Earth team. And what I want to do is I want to walk through the following agenda. We're going to do welcome, and we're going to give the history and the mission of the summit. We're going to introduce the panelists, and then we're going to give the format of the summit. And then we're going to, for the audience out there, we're going to review the scientific method. In fact, I'll give a simple example of applying the scientific method. Points 1 through 6 should occur in no more than 15 to 20 minutes. And then we're going to jump into the meat of this, where we're going to review proposals.
Yo, what's up, Sam?
Yeah, what's going on? I was on TikTok, like, you know. going around a little bit, but I was also watching a little bit of your stream. So I don't know that Doctor Shiva, man. I don't know that guy. I checked it out, but I don't know I don't like him. That's all I can tell you. I don't I don't like him. So what is he saying? What are you talking about? Like about that guy? Like what does he say? Like pretending to be like a scientist or something?
Oh yeah. Apart from being like a really aggressive, in a way, he has something to back it up. His frustration that he has some kind of degree and he's a doctor and all this shit, right? So he thinks he has the authority to like talk shit to anybody, right? This is his biggest problem, right?
I got it.
And he involving in flat Earth with the help of Mr. Dave Weiss, right? So
I went on the Father's Dave channel to see that the debate between him and that guy there, and and the thing that he says that he has like a degree as an engineer or something. It's like he has some kind of a degree or something, but he believes in gravity. I would have told him, "How come you're a scientist and you believe in gravity? Get the fuck out of here." What scientist can believe in gravity that has never been tested? That is like this is so funny.
oh, that's there where is their degree is supposed to be valid if they defend the pseudoscience. Why do you need a degree if you are not parroting the pseudoscience? It's not a fucking degree in some kind of achievement of like, you really learn something other than fucking parroting, right? Yeah.
That's the point. That's the whole point. You cannot be a scientist without questioning, what you believe in. And those guys don't question. They just don't question gravity. They don't question, curvature. They don't, So what kind of scientists? Those are not scientists. Those are like, priests. Those are like, that's a cult. That's not scientists. Are supposed to like, question everything all the time. And those guys don't do that. They don't question.
Oh yeah, they're not going to get paid. They're not going to get paid if they tell the truth. They are,
of course,
same like any other occupation, right? All the judges and many other places, and right. If they would work for the truth, the world would be a different place.
Well, but anyways, that's kind of normal. If you create like a false science, a fake science, so you have to have fake scientists, in order to promote it. You understand? So they're part of the package. They come with a territory, like Justin Johnson will say all the time. Makes me laugh. They come with a freaking territory, man.
Oh yeah, and before we continue with this, I just wanted to mention another thing. Like, I don't know, last week's podcast, if you saw that, I was showing with Dave McKeegan being working for the cube and all this shit, right? And the seams and all this stuff. So they were there. They were trying to make fun of all this shit, but he didn't make a debunk video, right? Because when Justin Johnson put that flag thing, right, and the skier thing, he was very quick to go and debunk. Oh, it was a flag and all this shit. But what happened, Dave McKeegan, with the cube thing, right? Of you being a specialist and be catching that seam, which is exactly in the cube. Why don't you make a debunk video and explain to us, Dave McKeegan?
Those guys, we like talking to those guys still, and just for the record. But I don't think there's nothing much to talk with them anymore. Just like those guys are like they're a joke. They're a joke.
And what happened with the ticket things and all this? I saw a bit. Dave, how is the name? Vlad was showing that some tickets and all this. What happened?
What happened is that Jaren at one point sent me a message through a messenger. Since we made that podcast, there is in contact with me like once in a while, and he said, "Look, I have a ticket. A ticket that proves that I went to to Union Glacier. So he told me just pass it, to Vlad. So I passed that to Vlad, and then Vlad uh, uh, is in contact with David Weiss apparently, because he sent that to David Weiss. David Weiss made a copy of that, of the ticket with his name, like he faked it. So that's what he put on his channel. Then Jaron sent me, a video of that ticket being in his, wallet, in his, phone there. So that's all, But anyways, for me, it doesn't prove much. And the thing is that, again, like, the very simple thing to do would be to show the means of payments. How did they pay those $40,000 to that company, like 6 months in advance, or 3 months, or 6 months, or a year in advance? You cannot just pay that over the counter. So that's not a receipt you just throw away, $40,000. So what can they just show that? Why can I just show like electronic proofs of their tickets for like a year? So this is so bullshit. Come on. They think we're stupid. They really think so. They believe their own lies. That's their problem. What can I tell you?
Oh yeah, I didn't go into it a lot, but I saw the image and it looks so fake, dude. So you can add any name.
No, but
Right.
anyways, I don't even think it's a proof that you went there, because I believe that if I buy a ticket, okay, and I don't go there, I will have that. I traveled, a few times, and I know that when I buy a ticket, through a business card, before that I travel, I have the receipt and everything, but that doesn't prove that I went there, that I was in the plane. I can buy a ticket and I show you a ticket, but with the seat and everything, it doesn't mean that I was in the plane. So
Oh yeah, the
there's so much.
the question. Yeah, the question could be, maybe that amount that Will Duffy is claiming that he spent, could be nice to see that, receipt, as you say, or the bank statement, right?
Of course, but I don't
30,000,
think
50,000 on that day, 40,000, because he was last moment people were like joining in, right?
Well, the thing is that it's for Duff, it's more than 40,000. It should be like about like $200,000 or $300,000, according to what he says, because he paid for a few people there, right? So that means that, imagine that means that you cannot pay that over the counter. You have to pay that before, way before, and you have to have also authorization to go there. It's not that easy. It's not his bullshit. It's not as easy as they say. So the thing is that it should be in the computers. It should be somewhere, easy to retrieve. But I don't think they want to show, who paid for that. I don't think it's Duffy. Duffy is a
Oh yeah, because
patsy.
if you follow the money, things might come out. So
Oh yeah, boy. Oh boy, you understand?
oh yeah,
You know
follow the money, and
Oh yeah.
the least expected place it can take you. So yeah, let's play this a bit. Yeah.
For exploring the question of round versus flat Earth using the scientific method. And then we're going to review each of those proposals on one specific, on a bunch of criteria that we agreed to in the pre-meetings. We've held 2 pre-meetings. Can you actually do these experiments? Cost? Is it viable? And can, ideally, we want to make sure any citizen can do it, any one of you listening. We don't want to make these experiments so esoteric, so hard to execute, that it becomes only reserved for a few set of people. And then one of the things we agreed to is the skills of mathematics seem to vary. On the round Earth side, when we go to the introductions, you'll see we have a number of people who are actually engineers, have degrees in engineering, advanced degrees. And it seems like on the flat Earth side, there's a very sparse background in mathematics. So therefore,
Yeah, because you fucking selected the people you wanted, right? Who doesn't have degree, right? Or who can, right?
I see Maktoon there. You fucking kidding me? Fucking Maktoon. What the fuck?
Exactly, McToon. McToon. What degree does McToon have?
Yeah, the
Right?
YouTube scientist.
Yeah, degree in lying for sure. Right?
Oh man.
Defending a globe is like a degree in lying almost,
You know
because all
that
theoretical.
that's the way they do it. First they have to convince you that they're like, they know what they're talking about. And if you buy that, if you believe that, that's it. It's over. Then they can sell you all kinds of shit. But the thing is that they're not scientists, and those people are like, they're fake. They're fake. They're fake as fuck. It's unbelievable how fake they are. And that's what I would have told him right away. How can you be a scientist if you just believe into something that's never been proven, and you take that as a base for scientific, reasoning? this is this is over before it starts. Yeah, fucking people, man. That's the true scientists. It's us. The true scientific community is the flat Earth community. I always said it. Those are the true scientists coming up, thinking, with logic, with reasoning, with knowledge, with the means they have for now. Because of course we just like we don't have the means that they do have, but this is what a true scientist is doing: questioning, investigating, searching, digging. That's what a scientist should do, but with true facts, not on bullshit. So what can I tell you? That's funny. We're living something special. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. Because this I think that is the reason these kind of also attacks continue, right?
This
In order to be fair, what we did was we decided after today, we're going to give people a week to go do their mathematical formulations. So if they want to go consult experts, ChatGPT, Gemini, go to universities, open book, like an open book exam. We want to do that because we don't want anyone moaning and groaning saying, well, I didn't know math or I didn't know this. Everyone can go consult as many experts. So we're going to do a follow-up next week. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone. What you notice the way we've done this summit is we have the audience here, the six, well, one of them is missing. It's very unfortunate because we spent a lot of time organizing this, multiple emails my assistant set out, and it seems.
And this whole shit was this, right? 3 Globers, and with this guy who's imitating to be in the middle as a like, with no bias. Fucking he was biased right from the beginning, right? He was attacking flat earth, whoever who he was, or the flat earth in general. He was attacking all the time. There was no one moment in even during this first Zoom thing that he seemed like he's genuinely interested and not biased. It was impossible.
It's amazing. It's like it's a show, man. It's a show. It's amazing. Because actually, that guy that tells you, he's from MIT or I don't know what the hell. The thing is that we should tell him that the way we see him is actually an expert. It's true. He's an expert in fake science. He's a fake scientist. With degrees. That means in fake science, he's an expert. In gravity, curvature of the water. All that nonsense. He's an expert. I have no problem, but it's still fake science, and it makes him a fake scientist. It doesn't make him a true one, never. So that's the thing. You have to put his ass back in place, right up. When he tells you that he has an MIT shit, a degree shit. So we have to
same like same
what is
same like Neil deGrasse Tyson or all these these guys
comedian
who
scientists.
like to twist to twist things.
Just like you have, the Egyptology, those circles of Egyptologists, they're all based in England mostly. And they're like, supposedly, they're just like, here to regulate, Egyptology and everything. But actually, they're just there to conceal the truth. Every time they find something, they're going to just hide it, twist it, conceal it. That's what they do. Same thing with these people. It's just like, priests of a fake, a fake science, like, working like a religion. Those are, crazy people, really crazy. When you
Oh
think
yeah,
about it.
but this is the thing. The best part is how the hell McToon gets himself inside, right? That's the interesting part.
Yeah. That's why I was like, what the hell? What, Mike Toon is also like, MIT guy now? I don't know. I don't understand. What the? This
Yeah,
is.
the MIT guy needs the help of McToon. So yeah, McToon is the scientist, global scientist, right? Yeah, but one. Yeah. Go ahead.
No. Just to tell you, I don't know if you know people. I mean, I know lots of people. I've been, living in Europe, in the States. I traveled in, like probably like about 30 countries in my life. I've met a lot of people, so I'm used to see people. And when I look at their faces, when I look at that guy's face, I can tell there's something that's, out of place. It's not like there's something like sick about him. It's not, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like, it's not genuine. It's not like there's something that tells me that this guy is like, he's not in his place. He's not a scientist. He's not what he pretends to be. And there is a problem about him. It's like, I don't know how can I tell you, like there's some kind of a negative, feeling about him when I look at him. It's like, whoa, what the hell is that? Like, whoa.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
because some more than words, it's like the vibration and the frequency that the people emit,
Exactly.
right?
It's like
So
a change,
yeah, and it happens with a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
This is the thing: the people don't understand that it's not only about the words that the people are saying;
No,
it's
exactly.
what it's emitting, right? What is fucking
Exactly.
words? Yeah.
Yeah. There's that smell there that's I don't like. But anyways, that's just like a personal opinion. Doesn't prove nothing. But again, real people, true people, you can feel them. You see them. All right. Even if you don't agree with them, you see if they are like truthful, like real human beings. That guy is like is twisted. He's been
Oh
made by
yeah.
by a machine, not by human beings. He's been like made or twisted by some kind of a system. You can see it. You can see it. Yeah, you see it.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
that fucking face. Look at that shit.
Oh yeah.
Who the fuck is that? Dr. Shiva. Shiva is also a god in Indian mythology. Like half man, half woman. There, you saw that guy with like seven hands. Dancing on a dead baby. Shiva.
Oh yeah, the Shiva is supposed to be the destroyer, right? In the Vedic cosmology, it's
Yeah,
it's
this is
it's it's nothing. It's like it's not that just because it's a Hindu Vedic god, it has to be negative, right? It's just a representation. But this is the problem, right? These kind of people are also using that kind of name and giving that kind of like version of like it's not like that, like in Vedic cosmology, Shiva just represents the death, right? The Brahma represents the birth. The Vishnu is the operator, like creator, operator, and destroyer. It's just a symbolic meaning to this, right? It's nothing.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but these kind of people, yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's just like I don't know. When I meet somebody in the street or when I do business with somebody, and I, for the first time I see someone, I already right away I have like a feeling about the person. Like if there's a chemistry, that's operating. Like I can feel the guy. I don't feel the guy. I don't. That's that's the way I am. But when I see that guy there,
Oh yeah,
what
I
the
think
hell?
we all have that, but this is the thing. Some people don't choose to see
Yeah.
that or use that another sense, right? Shout out to Mark Hollander. Says hi, Vika. How are you, brother? Mark, long time no see. Hope you're doing good. Alrighty, let's play this. Mark
Yeah.
Hollander is one of the person who was in Flatten the Curve. He's an author of an awesome book, Flat
All right.
Truth. Yeah.
Cool.
And he's there in the chat if you guys want to give him a follow. And anybody else, or even Mark, anybody wants to jump in, the link is up there. Alrighty, let's play that.
Seems like some people are just sloppy, and it perturbs me because we spend so much effort organizing this. But nonetheless, we're going to move forward, even with the absence of one individual. Hopefully, he'll show up. But I want to welcome everyone because this question of flat Earth has been put out in the audience, and I want to review how I got involved in this. I do various interviews, and a guy by the name of Flat Dave or something, had me on an interview. And he
Flat Dave.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a MIT guy, right? You know. Oh man.
he said,
He
"You know,
needs
the Earth
your
is flat."
bracelet.
And you guys can go see it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you know, seeing his face, I think he could use your bracelet, that copper bracelet that you get there, you give to people. He might, I think he needs it badly. Oh man,
Oh yeah.
it needs
Let's play. Let's play.
I think it needs a copper outfit, like total, just more than bracelet. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
It's all public. And I said, whoa, stop. I said, can you describe the scientific method? And again, you guys can go see this. And I was horrified that he didn't even know what the scientific method was. And this guy's promoting, he makes quite a bit of, he has his own website, he promotes this, and you guys can go look at it. He didn't even understand the scientific method. So we have a larger problem, particularly in the United States, and for that matter, different parts of the world, where young people, perhaps it's the STEM education, public school education, or private school, people aren't learning what the scientific method is. According to the latest statistics, less than 5% of people actually know what the scientific method is, even have mastery of it. And we're going to walk through that. And I spoke to a bunch of my friends who are educators who spend a lot of time teaching. In fact, I spoke to one of my high school teachers who's in his almost 80s. And I explained this to him. So my mission in doing this was to give a broad reset, hopefully as people see this video and the commitment of various people who come, to understand what is the scientific method and to make people accountable to the hard work it takes to apply the scientific method. We have grifters who seem like they can say whatever the fuck they want, without any accountability to.
Let me just comment that point. See, this is what they do, those motherfuckers. They're just trying to, hijack science. Like what they do is scientific. What they know, it's science, and it's not. It's fake science. It's not true science. It's fake. If you're a scientist and you believe in gravity, you're not a scientist. You're a fake scientist. You understand? So we have to put his ass back in place every time he talks about like science, because what he's doing is not science. It's like what you call pseudoscience, science fiction. It's not. But they're trying to to represent like what's true and what's been verified, and so oh man, I love to meet that guy. Oh boy. Okay, go ahead. Just it was just a rant, a little rant.
Oh yeah, it's true, bro. The thing with the Globers too, right? Flat earthers don't know how to do science, but their science is pseudoscience.
Yeah, of
It
course
doesn't
they believe in
stand,
gravity.
even
But
the more
yeah,
simple things. Yeah.
I know. What are curves? That's science. Fucking madman.
Oh yeah.
Evidence.
Fucking degenerate.
And the reason this has occurred is the educational system, and B, what is evidence? By the end of this summit, or through the summit, you will understand that evidence is reproducible predictions. Those two words are very powerful words. And I would again say probably less than 5% of the public actually understands what evidence is. Evidence in science is reproducible predictions. And we're going to, as we've had our pre-meetings.
Did you say something?
No. His definition of evidence is not what I believe it is. And evidence is not about prediction of, I don't know what he just said, like that's nothing to do with prediction. And evidence is something that's establishes a fact, established fact. That's what's evidence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but he's saying like repeating the same result is supposed to be the evidence, right?
Well, if I was, with him, I'll explain him that, I can give him an evidence, that he's a degenerate. I can prove him that he's degenerate and he's a fake scientist. I can prove it with his methods, with his own reasoning. You understand? But again, this is funny because you can see these people are sick. These people are sick. Don't believe, they look like, they're speaking normally and everything. They're like, free outside and everything. But, those people are like, they're actually, like sick, maybe dangerous. Just, I don't know, just listen to what he says, like, what he does. This is, I don't know. This is nuts.
Oh yeah, he gets really aggressive after.
Yeah, that's why. That's the way they are. Because this is like like mad people. Like first of all, they're like nice. They're trying to play a game. Like they're normal, and then when they corner that they go crazy. Those are sick people. Sick, maybe probably sexually distorted too. It's very possible. Anyways, fucking degenerate. So
oh yeah,
go ahead.
Let's play this.
We're going to make sure everyone adheres to the scientific method. Otherwise, anyone can say whatever the fuck they want, and that's not science.
Oh no.
Okay. So again, my motivation in this was not about the question of flat or round, but as a PhD, as a guy who spent a lot of time educating people, spent a lot of grueling hours solving problems, it became eminent there's a whole set of people, particularly on the internet, quote unquote influencers, who have no regard for science, who can talk a lot. They can talk very beautifully. And people think they're saying something, but when you take away the layers, they're saying nothing. And this is not only among the grifter class, but also in universities. And I'll show you an example of that. So we live in a very dangerous time because anyone with a microphone and a camera can say what they want, but they don't have to back it up. But today's summit.
Go ahead.
No, just like what he's saying now about us, it's exactly what he is. He's trying to transpose, his own face, onto ours. That means that, he's explaining what he is. And he says that, this is what we are. You understand? This is nuts. This is, we should meet him. We should organize some kind of a podcast with that guy. Oh man.
Oh yeah, I don't think we want to speak to this guy. Right? He's.
No, you have no problem to talk to him. Like in half an hour, like like something short. Because he has to be put in his place, but nobody puts him in his place. What the fuck is that? Like I saw David Weiss also over there. Like with his big mouth, he didn't even manage to do a good podcast. That guy kind of dominated him, the whole time. So I don't know. He has to be put in his place.
The way it's organized is you're gonna have to back up what the fuck you say. And I'm using some of these annoying words because the level of conversation needs to be seriously elevated. And I think what we're doing today is a public service. This summit is brought to you by the International Center for Integrative Systems, all volunteer run. There's no one grifting here monetizing this. This video is not being monetized. We're doing this. A number of people here have families. They've taken time out of their weekends to do this. So I appreciate all of that. So that's the background. We don't want to let people get away with saying stuff that they cannot back up. They got to be able to back it up. And we want to create a consciousness that people demand that of these grifters, as well as their politicians and public officials. And so I want to thank everyone here for participating. We're supposed to have.
So he's, according to his comment, it looks like he's behind the grifters, so-called flat earthers, according to him, right? And the politicians and the officials. So this is his battle. This is what he chose, right?
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with that, but
oh yeah, he's one a hell of a bully. This guy for sure.
oh man, I'm getting hungry for him.
3
Wow.
on the flat earth side, 3 on the round earth side. 1 person's missing on the flat earth. And then we have other people we invited to, if they just want to be in the Zoom audience, and then we're also streaming it. So let's go back to the agenda here. Let's introduce the panelists. I have a picture of all of them here. Let's start right here. Let's introduce, we'll do the round earth side first. If the people can just say your name and a quick background. Let's start with Dr. Dinakar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Prabhakar Dhyanekar. I am a biomedical engineer, trained as a chemical engineer, but I did my postdoctoral studies in biomedical engineering, and my interest in my interest in this particular topic is solely for the fact that we need more scientific method in answering any questions, especially the questions that such as whether the fundamental questions such as whether the earth is flat or round, and these need to be nipped in the bud in the sense that these need to be taught in a school level. It shouldn't take a summit like this to have a clarity on such a fundamental questions. So that's my interest.
Thank you, Dr. Dinakar.
Thank you.
Then we have Michael. Mike, you can introduce yourself. I know some people don't, for anonymity, you don't want your last names. Believe it or not, some people like Mike have actually gotten death threats by people on the flat earth side. And this is of serious concern. And those people were not
wait
invited.
a second, Vikka.
Oh yeah, this is what I go ahead, but yeah, this is what I was saying where he was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As I told you, the next step against flat earth is going to be to demonize flat earth in order to slowly but surely make it illegal. And for that, it's going to be like false flag operations, I'm telling you, it's logical. It makes sense. And now he's starting to say that we are threatening flat earthers like dangerous people because they like they like to threaten people. They like to this is that's the that's the thing they're doing. So now I know where he's going. That guy. Okay, you see.
Oh yeah, looks like that's how McToon got himself inside there, like with that, he's so damaging against flat earth that he's getting all these threats, and that is the reason, the supposed reason, the guy who was supposed to be in this was not there, was not selected by Dr. Shiva because of that threat that McToon got. Right? So-called. This is what it looks like. This is what it shows when you hear that shit. Right?
Well, that's what
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I finished. Go
I
ahead.
was saying that that's what the Nazis did. This is a Nazi tactic. The Nazis they just like burned the Reichstag, their parliament, and then they accused the communists in order to forbid that the communist movement in Germany. So those are the same methods. The same methods, false flag operations. And this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you now. They're just talking about like being dangerous. But then they're gonna do something, because those are the people that are dangerous. These people are dangerous, in a sense. So they're gonna stage some shit, and I don't think we're gonna wait too long. They're gonna stage some shit and gonna say, "Oh, the flat earthers did it." You understand? That's I bet whatever you want.
Oh yeah, and he will be catching up on it in this podcast. Like he's like banking on it. Like this is the reason. That's why he's so like heated up, and he's like so much like like being so soft with the guy on the screen, and being so like disrespectful to that flat earth, whoever he was. I don't know who the fuck even sent him, but yeah, let's play this.
Because they seem to be nuts. And so this is a serious issue. It seems like if you go against some narrative that people are monetizing and making money, you actually get death threats. So Mike has shared that with me. It's very unfortunate, but we did not include those people here. Go ahead, Mike.
Tarita is saying, is McToon wearing Vice t-shirt? You are not stupid, it's stupid. Who knows? Who knows? Holy shit.
Fucking that's right. Oh man. What a bunch of freaks.
Yeah, thank you. At university, I studied electrical engineering and computer science. I've written software for my professional career. And for the last 7.5 years, I've been engaging in this flat earth and globe earth discourse, and have a channel, MC Toon Live, and another channel, Conspiracy Tunes, where I look at these two things. I debate flat earthers often on my live channel, and anybody's welcome to come watch if they like to see a 2+ hour interchange between myself and some people that don't generally understand science.
All right, Mike, thank you. And
oh yeah, and he understands a lot, right?
Yeah, but we just understand you. That's what's important. Oh man, what the hell? These people are something.
then we have Dan here. Dan, go ahead. I think Dan's good.
Yeah, hi. My name's Dan. I started off in signals intelligence in the Navy, doing radio and satellite networks in during combat deployments. Been a telecommunications engineer with radio and fiber optics for the better part of 25 years now. Originally, I started in this primarily as a byproduct of my teenage daughter having TikTok and seeing some of the videos that were on there about flat Earth and things like that. I've been doing this roughly about 2 years now, started on X, and have now migrated over to YouTube, and can be found on Unfornicated on YouTube, where we do some science communications about things from my background, to kind of teach people about things like radio, fiber optics, and the EM spectrum, and like speed of light. And then also we go into some of the more obscure history, things that aren't taught in schools, to kind of shine a light on some of those things that that matter.
All right, thanks, Dan. All right, let's go to our team on the flat Earth side. Let's begin with Kevin Samuel. Kevin, kindly go ahead, if you can give people your background.
Now, who is this guy? Does anybody know this guy, even in the chat?
Never heard of him. Never saw him before in my life. I don't know everybody, but you know.
I'm 6 to 7 years flat Earth. I've never seen this guy, or heard his name.
So it takes known globers and unknown flat earthers. Okay, that's he's a good scientist.
Yeah, so even in the chat, nobody looks like knows him.
me. Now I'm unmuted. You hear me? Yes, Kevin.
Yes, we can hear you. Yep.
Kevin Samuel Bow is my YouTube channel. I studied media economics. It's I did online courses after that in alternative money systems. I criticized the nowadays money system a lot. So I think I have something in common with you, how things are bad in economy. But I peeked into other stuff, and I also saw too far in a vacation. I could see an island I couldn't see, and I got interested. I researched that. I digged into theories a lot, and I did a lot of some experiments I did myself. I did experiments with a fishing line, stuff like that, and I like to present.
That's a fake. That's a liar. That's a liar. Totally liar. It's a fake. A guy that does experiments doesn't speak like this. He speaks like if he just learned, what to say. It's bullshit. Total bullshit. 100% bullshit.
Oh yeah, the real Arnold is saying. I think real Arnold is saying, why does their level of flat Earth fame matters? No, it's not. It's not about the level of fame. I just asked, do anybody know him? That's it. And I say, I didn't say which channel or what. I said, I have never heard about him nor seen a single video of him making a video, a podcast, nothing. Or on any panel, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, because we are all on different platforms. We have many people we are following, and many people are following, right? You know all names, you know people, flat earthers doing things, right? Even the smallest channel.
I think he says he gave the name of his channel quickly. It's, we have to check it out. Let's have some fun. See what his channel looks like. If it's right, I'll come back to that later on. I'll check him out.
Something today, which I think can be decisive, and includes the scientific method. And I hope we keep calm, everyone, and keep it to science.
Great. And Kevin, you're out of Austria, right? Just to let
yes.
3 people are in the United States. Kevin's overseas, so we want to thank Kevin. I don't know what time it's there, Kevin, but it must.
It's okay. Today it's okay. The pre-meetings were late. Today it's 5:30 p.m.
Okay, great. Let's go to Ryan Shea. Ryan's here in the United States. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, hi. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So my name is Ryan Shea. I am from Dallas, Texas, currently in Houston, driving right now. I've got an undergraduate degree in marketing and management, master's degree in leadership. Most of my professional career was in coaching college soccer, then have now been in real estate as a realtor and investor, entrepreneur. And it was probably about 5 years ago, someone, when I was in a tall building, said, "Hey, we can see pretty far here, can't we?" And brought up the flat earth. So I was like, I had no idea. I mean, what I was taught as a kid was we're on a globe spinning around 1,000 miles per hour, hurtling off into space, and there's this solar system and all this stuff. And I just took it for what it was. And I started doing my own research, doing my own testing. Have done a light test across the lake that was around 7 miles, and I've done many other independent research on this subject. And when Dr. Shiva had brought up using the scientific method, I thought, oh, this is great. This is good. This is exactly what we want to do. We want to have facts, and we want to know truth. And another part, I think, just quickly, is that I'm also a part of the Truth, Freedom, Health movement. So I would say what we do here is it's all about facts. I don't care about anything other than what the truth is. And when our freedoms and health is actually absolutely diabolical right now in this world and country, it's not okay. So that's what attracts I'm also a part of. And then, so with this flat Earth,
Go ahead.
No, just he said that our freedoms is like diabolical. Like, what are you saying? Like, freedom is diabolical? Like, I don't
No,
understand
he
what he
was
said. Like, what?
he was saying like the health and something like our is freedom and the health stuff is like being in a diabolical situation. Like kind of that's why he
Okay.
came to
Okay.
Dr. Shiva for help to solve this problem of is it a flat or a globe?
I don't know. Even the guy before that, the fat one, says like that it's important for him to to I don't know, to respect science, or I don't know, to go according to science. That's not like what a flat earther will say. It doesn't sound like a flat earther. I don't know. Anyways, those people are like, it's a stage.
wanted to get involved at flat Earth, round Earth debate and do what I can to help. So that's it. Thanks.
Okay. And the third person we're supposed to have is, I think his handle is Globe Slayer, right? Bobby, but he was supposed to be here and he's not. So before I started, I was frankly annoyed because we spent a lot of time communicating to people, getting people out here. And I wish people would follow through on their word. But anyway, we're going to start. Let me go back. So thanks everyone for those introductions. I think people understand the mission here. It's to really apply the scientific method. And across what I've seen, from this past year, when you look at this question, it's been unfortunate that people haven't applied the scientific method. So the part of what we wanted to do in the next 5-6 minutes, I did this in a long video, but to the audience out there on social media, plus the audience here, what is the scientific method? We wanted to review it. We've had pre-meetings on it. We've gone over the terminology. Everyone's on board, but we just wanted to level set for everyone else because that framework is what's going to be used for anything we do. And that framework is what's going to be imposed on anyone, the panelists who are participating on both sides. Is that clear? That's the ground rules. So let's review what is the scientific method. Let me go back to the slides here. So in the scientific method, you begin with an observation. Okay, let's say you have a car. There's some force put on the car, F. It's of some mass, and then it accelerates. Okay, so you see this phenomenon. You could be sitting on a park bench, and someone's pushing a car. That's a force. The car is of some mass, and it starts accelerating. Okay, so the scientific method begins with an observation. You see an apple, Newton saw an apple fall supposedly from the tree, and he wants to understand that, okay? You may see the clouds move. You want to understand that. You see the world heating up or cooling. You make these observations, and you want to understand that. So the scientific method begins with an observation, okay? Begins with an observation. So that observation typically leads to some question. Okay, so in this case, if you see a force impinging on a car of mass m, accelerating, you may make a question, and that is denoted as a hypothesis. So, and this is what's important to understand, is the...
Exactly. They just had the scientific method, but they don't have the facts.
Yeah, but
they don't have the truth.
There's something kind of sick, like in what he says, because there are things that you can think of because they don't seem normal, like things that are abnormal. Then you want to think about them and explain them. But there are things that are normal, like an apple falling from the tree, something that is normal. There's something that we question, we try to understand. It's like pissing against the wind. It's something normal. If you get wet, it's something normal. You don't have to invent gravity, to explain how come you get, wet from, pissing against the wind. You understand? So there is at a certain point, there is something sick into what they're saying, like an apple that falls from the tree. Wow, let's understand that. How come? This is already
let's
like
create
there's something wrong.
a force. Yeah.
Let's
create
create something to explain what's normal. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah, that
Usually,
is
you question what you don't understand, what's abnormal, what's like doesn't make sense, and then you find an explanation, to explain that thing. But there are things that are
like this.
natural that you don't
Like that
question.
lazy people, yeah, like that lazy people don't have to think, right? That is the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
lazy people don't need to think, because all this twisting of reality is what this makes these people do all these things, because the people are lazy even to think. Forget about doing something physically or actively, even to think.
It's you see, so they're trying to explain things that are simple to understand. They're trying to explain, actually, not to explain, but to find different reasons why that thing, seems like the way it is, and that's that's not, again. This comes from a sick mind. You want to explain things that are hard to understand, not things that are like easy to understand, like water doesn't move, doesn't curve. You understand? This is simple. You don't have to explain that. This is a law of nature, something like, like you have two arms, you have two legs. You don't ask yourself why. How come? What's wrong with that picture? You understand? So this is already something sick in trying to explain something that's simple, and that's natural. So they're trying to, like, uh, give like false explanations to like how nature works, in order to twist nature, to say that that's what you think is natural. Well, it's not really natural. I understand there is something like kind of sick in their first approach of, like when he's talking about the apple that falls from the tree. Why don't you observe the leaf that goes up in the air? Like, I don't understand, like, what's and the apple that goes in the water doesn't go to at the bottom of the water. So that's all fake. This is all like, this is intellectual disorder.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hypothesis is always expressed as a mathematical equation, which means you need to know some math. Okay. And if you don't know math, you got to go get someone who does know math.
Oh yeah, you have to know maths, otherwise it's not reality.
Well,
As I
he's
was
mad.
saying,
Yeah.
yeah, maths. You can, as I was saying, as today, even I mentioned on even on TikTok, I was saying, right? You can fucking take a shit from second floor and put maths and calculate how long when it's gonna hit the ground, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's the only way of, yeah, the sacred geometry maths, yes, but
Well,
this pseudoscience, yeah,
the thing
numbers.
that what I explained on my podcast with Mark Keegan and Jaron last time is that actually their reasoning is perfect. Everything they say looks good. It makes sense. The mathematics is confirming everything they say. The problem is that they're just like explaining you or proving your system that does not apply to reality. When you want to check it out, you take it outside, it doesn't work. It's just like Star Trek. Star Trek, they have like, like the Enterprise, like a spaceship, and they have like all kinds of like, technical terms like warp drive and all that shit. And, if you into Star Trek, it makes sense. Everything works in Star Trek. But if you try to build it, it doesn't work. It never did. You understand? So they're living in a movie. They're making themselves, like, a movie, and they're explaining everything in that script. It's a script, but then you cannot find the actors to to make that movie. You cannot find it. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's
Exactly.
just
They have all the infrastructure or possibility to make it produce something, right? For example, like
yeah,
a movie, right? But
exactly.
they don't have the story. They don't have the truth. They don't have the reality.
Exactly. It does not apply. It's not like realizable. It's not like they cannot make it. It's like they're just proving you how those work. Their imaginary world. You understand? They have the world out of their imagination, and they're trying to show you how their imagination works. And this is what it is. Because at one point, if it was true, they should be able to apply it to reality, but it doesn't work. And science has to be logic. Science has to make sense. If science doesn't make sense or goes against logic or against nature, it is not science. So that's what's going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To help you. And in this process here, we're allowing people to go get experts. That's why in developing the hypothesis, we're going to give people a week. But nonetheless, you can look at this phenomenon and you can say, oh,
Did you say something?
No, I didn't say nothing.
Oh yeah, experts. He calls himself the expert because he can scribble some numbers and write some equation and formulas, so he thinks he's an expert.
But
This is the biggest deception of all this scientific thinking and this astrophysics, so-called theoretical physics. The problem is this. Yeah.
But did he get his degree like before to be arrested for beating his wife or after that?
I don't know. Maybe it was during, because
Yeah.
it was
Okay. Just to know.
oh, there's a force, the car is of mass m, and it accelerates. And you may say, I believe that the relationship between the force and the mass is related by this equation. Force equals mass times acceleration squared. Okay, so the force to move that mass m has to be ma squared. That's a hypothesis based on your observation. It could be wrong or it could be right. Okay, so if you're a round earther, you're going to come up with some observation. Could be, an airplane, how it moves. It could be, I think Ryan said a fishing line. It could be the sun's motion. There's many observations, but you use that observation, and based on your assumptions, you come up with a mathematical equation. Obviously, technically, a mathematical equation will vary if the Earth is round or if the Earth is flat. And I'm sort of foreshadowing some of this, but nonetheless, you do an observation and you come up with a hypothesis. In this case, someone is saying that force is
Shout out to Mr. Cheswick. He said astrophysics is just stoner talk we used to do when we were 16. Every 16-year-old stoner is, hey man, what if space goes on forever, dude? Yeah, the only difference is these people are fucking getting paid for it. That's the difference, Mr. Cheswick. And they're getting the best stash too, right? For free.
with the mass times acceleration squared. Now, if that is true, the evidence will point to that based on what M and A you plug in, you're going to get different forces every time you plug in that M and A, particular M and A. That's called evidence. That's why we say evidence equals reproducible predictions. Okay, so the next thing you would do is you would do some experiment. Okay, you're going to have to design the experiment, and experiments are difficult. You have to have the right methodology. You have to understand the errors. It's not trivial. It's a lot of hard work. And the next thing you do is you gather data and you organize that data. So you would do an experiment. Here we have three variables, F, M, and A, and you would do experiments and you organize. I just did a little table here. Column 1 is F, column 2 is M, and the last column is A, acceleration, okay? So you would organize, it's actually A squared. Sorry about that. Let me.
Vikka.
Actually, this is right. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so you would organize the data.
Vikka, I think he's got his priorities not in order. Because he's saying first it is an observation, then there is the hypothesis, and then an experiment. And then you gather information, gather data. So if he's talking about the data you gather after the experiment, maybe in my work, but if it's like just like data gathering, it is one of the first thing you do. You observe something, and as you observe, you before to have an hypothesis, before to have a theory, you have to gather information. You cannot just have a theory, use that in information. You have to gather information at the very beginning, not in the step number 4. I'll put that step number 2. So that's and data organization, that in number 3. Yes, you understand. And the hypothesis, the theory comes after that. It doesn't come before the data gathering. How can you have a theory if you don't have any information to think with? First, you need to gather the information to think with. In order to,
it should
come
be
up
twice.
You understand? Observation. Okay, you observe something, and when you observe something, you're asking yourself a question. Okay, how come this doesn't work like this, or this works like that? And then you're starting to gather information in order to think, to start thinking. You cannot think without information. Information
And
intelligence is
then
the first
come
thing.
with the hypothesis, right? And then come with the hypothesis, and then the experiment, and then again the
Exactly.
data.
Exactly. When we go to war, before to go to war, we gather intelligence on the enemy. We don't go to war before to know where they are, where are their bases, communication. So gathering intelligence is one of the first steps before to have a plan of attack. You understand? Same thing here. So he's talking like, I think he's talking bullshit, because those people again, I told you, they're crazy people. They're like in liberty and everything. They're like free outside. They're not in an asylum, but they're crazy. So we have to, take them for what they are. So that's a crazy man, a madman, that explaining you like science. So we have to be careful not to take anything, he says for granted, because, it's kind of crazy. You can see that he's crazy. So again, this is fake. That reasoning here is not. It doesn't work the way logic would want. Again, like I might be wrong, but it doesn't look like right. You don't gather information.
Oh yeah, as I mentioned earlier, all right. They only have the method. They don't have the reality. They don't have the fact. They don't have the truth.
This is all bullshit. Those are madmen. It's not. It's just like madmen with a mission. Like it's fucking crazy. I'm enjoying that. Okay, go ahead. Just let's go.
Like this, and these are the results you get from your experiment. Okay. And then you would see what this reveals. And you'd find out that the results are force is actually equal to MA. There's no squaring based on the state. Everyone see that? F, in this case, M times A, M times A, M times A. So the hypothesis was that F equals MA squared. In this case, F would have been 1. But in this case, the second case, F would have been 4. And in this case, F would have been 16.
Okay,
see that?
Vikka.
But it is.
Check it out again. Like to confirm what I said, the results, cannot come from a data organization. Results come from the experiment. You make an experience, and then you have a result from that experience, from that experiment. You understand? So it's like misplaced. All these fucking squares are like totally like, not in order, like in his fucking mind. Same thing. It's just like a fucking like big mess. And a result come at the end of an experiment that you can only do, after you have a plan, a hypothesis, and you can only have that after you gather information and you organize the information. So that's not in order at all. I think I'm
Oh yeah,
right,
just
but
because he
again,
has, just because he has a power presentation, as somebody was mentioning earlier, right? That it means, this is the legit way, right?
I don't know. Those are, yeah.
Sprinkle some numbers there, put some X, Y, put something that look complicated, and that's it.
And I tell you something also, a true scientist, someone that, that really does research and everything, never says like, fuck, or never curses. That doesn't go with like science. That doesn't go with like, scientists. True scientists are respectful. They're here because they understand things, and they're here because they have to teach to people that do not understand. So they have to have patience, and you cannot like find true scientists like insulting. So the guy is fake from start to finish, And okay, go ahead. Let's see what else is.
Oh yeah, he really goes on. Yeah, for sure. Let's play this.
So when you come to this point, you have to deal with the reality that your hypothesis F equals ma squared was wrong. In fact, it's F equals ma. Okay? And then you have to deal with the reality that if the results match the hypothesis, which they don't, if they do match, your hypothesis is accepted. If not, it's rejected. This is a scientific method. Okay? And we can look at this, but this is what I'm saying is, unfortunately, if you go out on the street, less than 5% of people actually know this. So if less than 5% of people know this, and there's billions of people.
Yeah, because you guys wanna tell the people that only you guys can understand reality because you understand this fakery of numbers and letters and like what the fuck, right? This is pseudoscience. This is really pseudoscience.
Yeah, yes. But let me tell you something. Ask you something. If he knows how to demonstrate something, how to prove something, why don't he tries that with gravity? Gravity. Just go ahead, observe, gather information on gravity, make your theory, hypothesis. Do your experiments and do your results, and go ahead and check it out if you can apply gravity. If you can prove it through that system there, go ahead. And through his system, you can see that you cannot prove gravity. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold. Gravity cannot hold trillions of tons of water, but have a body float on the surface. So that's logic. Again, science has to make sense. That's one of the laws of science. Science has to go along with nature. Nature is normal. It's what's normal, what makes sense. It's logical. It's sane. You understand? So any scientific theory you have must match logic. Must be logic, and must be in accord with nature. As soon as it doesn't make sense, as soon as it's not natural, so it's not valid. That's very simple. Just check if it's applicable with nature in nature, so it's okay. But when it's not applicable, it's unnatural.
Oh yeah,
it's unnatural. It's not logical.
That's the reason most of their pseudoscience is like or in the sky or away or very far, dark matter, dark energy, black holes, right? Everything is far away because nothing can be proved, right?
Exactly. In their imagination, far away in their mind, that means that they create some space into their mind, an imaginary space, and then they use that space there that comes out of their mind, their sick mind, and they say, okay, it's over there we can prove everything. So this is unnatural. This is actually again a war against nature, against God, of course, but against nature. This is unnatural. This is almost like I won't say sorcery, because sorcery uses nature, but the thing is that it's not natural. It's not sane. It's insane science. You understand? Those people are insane to be able to to say what they say. Very simple.
Oh yeah, that is the reason they are there where they are, right? Is because they are good at parroting and making people believe that what they are doing is the right way and the right science and everything else is shit. That is the reason they are there at that position, right? Or in those universities at that level. And this is all bullshit. This is all. It's yeah.
Totally.
People on social media, and someone's just randomly saying what they want to say, they could bullshit people. So this is the framework why you have an iPhone, okay? Why this works. Because people have to understand Maxwell's equations, to understand all sorts of very, very complicated things. And the unsung heroes in a lot of this are engineers. Engineers are the people who actually have to.
Dude, this is the thing also, like these people think just because, hey, you guys are flat earther, you don't believe in science, why are you using the internet or the mobile? Right? Come on, guys. We know the differences of real science, technology, gadgets, and how things work. We can differentiate between that.
So
right? How communication technologies work, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So I tell you, when they say we don't believe in science, that's not true. We do believe in science. What we do not believe in is fake science. Now, how do you make fake science? By mixing true science with false science. That creates fake science. So within fake science, there are, true things. There are things that work. They have no problem. Measuring, weight and everything. Things work. But it is how you use that, and you mix it with like false data and false, false knowledge, that you create fake science. Now, a phone is real because it can be applied in reality. So there's no problem with
Exactly,
the phone.
and can he prove how the gravity is working on the phone?
Exactly.
What
That's what
part of
I'm trying to
gravity is
tell you.
making the phone work? Can you explain to us
Exactly. Now it's going to use the phone, which is true science, which works, and it's going to tell you, oh, you know what? But it receives a signal from a satellite in space. You understand? So this is where
that? We know
the fake science is coming.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
we know where the signals is coming from. We even know what the hell the signal is and what are the possibility of the signals to be transferred in different ways. We understand that science. We
Right.
understand
That's it.
how a phone could be made, right? What kind of different components could be possible for that phone to work, right? Receivers and transistors, right? Transfer of signals and antenna and cell tower technologies, right? There are all different sciences, nothing to do with pseudoscience. Yeah.
And what's funny
Very
is
bad
that
analogy, Dr. Shiva. Yeah, go ahead.
everything that flies, everything that goes fast in the atmosphere, actually does not believe in his science. It believes in flat earth, because you cannot fly a plane, by believing it's a globe, that you're flying over a globe. You cannot, take a boat on the sea, if you believe that the water is curving at one point. So this is all bullshit. You understand? This is his science is not believed by scientists, true scientists that build planes, boats, like sniper rifles, all these tools do not take in account that, they're in the globe, that it can be used on the globe. No, they, they only are built and engineered, according to the fact that they're going to be used on a flat plane. You understand? And never on the rotating, like a hyperactive water ball. Like, this is
Oh yeah, so
ridiculous.
there are real people who do real science of these kind of different sciences who have worked their ass out to be there, and they're doing the job, right? What astrophysics is giving in science other than Narnia things, right? These are the biggest freeloaders. Neil deGrasse, this guy, Bill Nye, that Brian Koch, right? All these guys, right? They are they are the real freeloaders making up crap and earning by doing nothing scientific, nothing.
So that's what they are doing. They're recruiting idiots. They're building a society of idiots because they need idiots in order to flourish. They cannot like, evolve with like people that think on smart people. They have to involve on totally, degenerate people, like stupid people or retarded. And that's what they are creating. They are creating this kind of people through, video games, through the TVs, to whatever. They're creating them, with every means they have, because they need them in order to, to to reign. because again, people that think, they cannot just control people that think. They have to, especially with their bullshit. So this goes deep. It's a spiritual war. We know that. But what we have to expose these people is not for what they say, but science, because we know that already. So like we already know that the Earth is flat for like thousands of years. It's been proven all over the place. The thing is that we have to expose those people for what they're trying to do. They are criminals, and then they are trying to take over, and they are trying to to follow an agenda, very dangerous agenda for mankind. This is, I believe, what we have to expose, because they're not like fighting flat earth like this. It's just like they have a plan. They have, those guys have a plan. So that's what we have to
bro.
understand. Those guys have a plan. Even TFE. You're gonna see. I'm gonna try to explain that later on. But even TFE is part of a plan. It's not like Duffy is a patsy. Is nothing. There are other people behind. People that probably paid for the expenses that they don't want to to show us who paid for that. But
and for even who paid for Will Duffy. So for sure.
That's what.
Let's play this. Let's play this.
Apply science to creating practical things. It's where the rubber meets the road. Engineers are like the vo-tech people doing science. Okay. So anyway, this is a scientific method. Now we want to make sure that this is applied in the case. By the way, let me just point out one thing. I was literally walking through my woods here, and I live in a very interesting community of a lot of academics. And obviously, I run for Senate. I'm running for Senate again. Some random guy comes up to me and he starts talking about climate change. And he goes, the climate is changing, and I don't agree with you. It's obviously the Earth's temperature is increasing based on CO2. And I said, look, evidence is reproducible predictions. And he didn't even know what that meant. And I said, what's your background? He's apparently a humanities guy who happens to run a nonprofit, which gets quite a bit of money promoting the climate change narrative. Okay. Anyway, I said, have you read the IPCC report? Because if evidence is reproducible predictions, then you should get the same answer for how much ice is going to melt, right? Well, if you actually look at the IPCC report, this is what you get. And this is just an example. There are about 100 different models of ice melting on the Arctic. And each one gives a different answer. So one model says 100% is going to melt, and another model, this one says 0% is going to melt. So when you see something like this is garbage in, garbage out. This is not reproducible predictions. Okay? So if anything you learn today at a high level, besides flat earth, round earth, evidence is reproducible predictions. So if you ask someone, someone developed a mathematical model for looking at the two fluids, the air and the oceans, and then they computed how much ice is going to melt. Well, none of them are coming with the same answer. Everyone see this? It's like the Baskin-Robbins flavor. Multiple results. And if you bring this up, you're viciously attacked for just pointing this point out. But anyway, this is occurring not only among the grifters on the internet, but at places like MIT. Okay? The only professor who brought this up was Dick Lindzen, and he was vilified by the other 100 plus professors. But the point is that we have a serious problem when people aren't following the scientific method. But what you see is
there are many people for sure be following the scientific method. That's why in this graph, there are different kind of variation of results.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like a torn LGBT flag. I don't know.
in this case, there's no evidence of ice melting because these models are completely varied. Okay. All right. So what we're going to focus on in today's discussion is what is the observation each team is proposing, and what is the model and a brief framework on the experiment. These three things we're going to focus on. All right. So again, to be clear, this model always has a set of inputs, variables, and a set of outputs. Okay, so each team here, based on the observation, and we may have multiple, right? I think we've already discussed two. Maybe there's the flat earthers want to do one, and the globe earthers, fine, but it still has to follow this stricture and this framework. But you'll define your inputs and you define your outputs. Okay, so if we want to talk about a fishing line or a laser over thing or the sun's motion or an airplane, you still have to come up with an equation because we want to follow this process. Okay, this is the structure that both teams have agreed to. Globe earthers will have to do the same thing. So for example, the globe earthers may design their inputs. This is just a function and which should predict their outputs.
Yeah, he wants a mathematical formula if we want to do right. Without them, that he don't understand the possibility of doing a
Well, I tell you something. If he's talking in his gibberish there for like an hour and a half, nobody can follow him anymore. Like after like half an hour of like that gibberish and that stupid, all these statements, like you cannot even understand what he's saying. Like just like totally like lobotomized after like half an hour. So I mean, he can say anything he wants. He can present everything he wants, as long as it's complicated. You understand? So it's not true. Again, truth is simple. The demonstration is just to prove something that's already been shown as simple and logical. You understand? For example, a car. Like I told in my debate with McKeegan there. You know what a car is? Okay, I know what a car is. I drove cars. I know where to put, the gas, the oil, where the brakes are. I know how to drive a car. So this is simple. A car is something simple to explain. It's a way of transport, to go from A to B. So I know that. Only then can I, use like complex demonstrations to teach how it works. How do you build it? Because all this is complex. But first of all, it has to be proven and shown as something simple. A car, 4 wheels, a steering wheel, lights, and that's it. And then you drive. Understand? And that's the point. And then you can demonstrate and you can explain what's simple. But here it doesn't explain what's simple. He says it's very complicated. I'm going to explain it what's complicated. But what's complicated? It's nothing is really complicated. Again, when you observe the world you live in, it's not complicated. If you want to know how it works, yes, it's complicated. But in order to know what it is, it's not complicated. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
This is where they play. This is where they play with the people. That they complicate shit out of nothing. The most simple thing is complicated so that the people say, have fun being a scientist, right?
So
For any specific input.
Yeah, that's okay.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. That's the fucking game.
They get an output all the time, reproducible prediction. Then there's evidence that the Earth is a globe. Alternatively, if the flat earthers have their inputs, and they can make whatever assumptions they want. The globe earthers can say, is the sphere an ellipse or is it a perfect round globe? Similarly, the flat earthers can say, is there a dome about this flat disk, or is it whatever they want? It's full freedom. But you have to lay out the assumptions and you have to build the model. Okay? This is not trivial to do this. Therefore, I had originally wanted people to literally get up on a whiteboard and, derive the models. And in the pre-meetings, we realized that people have different mathematical backgrounds. So we're going to give people a week and they can go consult anyone they want. And then November, 15th, we'll come back and people will present their models. All right, so I'm going to stop there. But that's the framework of the scientific method. Okay, we can take specifically on the scientific method. We do have an audience here, but if anyone has any questions. I don't think we've opened up the chat. Wait until the end of the time. But the bottom line is, this is the framework of the scientific method. All right, let's, I think the next part we're going to move on agenda-wise is we want to now go to, let me go back to this. We want to go to we reviewed a simple example. We want to now review proposals adhering to the scientific method. So each team is going to propose what the observation they want to use across flat Earth and globe Earth, and then what's the methodology, the experimental methodology that they're going to use. Okay, so we'll start with the globe Earth people proposing theirs, and we'll go to the flat Earth people, and then first we just want you to propose your idea, and then we'll have a Q&A across both. Does that make sense? So we want people to have the opportunity to fully talk about what they want to do. People can take notes, and then we'll go over, and then each team can critique the other team. And hopefully what's going to end as a result of this is a transcript of this, but more importantly, a document, a draft document, a white paper, which will lay out the experiment or experiments. We do have talked about the outcome of this, based on if the methodology is clear, can potentially be published in a decent peer-reviewed scientific journal. This has not been done to date, potentially in the field of science education. And I've started looking at some of those journals, which means all the 6 participants will be authors in that. So who on the Globe Earth team wants to present their proposal? Mike? Oops, you got to unmute, Mike.
All right. Yeah. So a real simple thing, and something that everybody can do, I think, is very important. So, and everybody experiences where the sun is in relation to them every day of the year. So I propose just applying geometry. It's pretty simple. It isn't even a university level thing. It's generally high school, even.
Again, the sun. Yeah. Mechtoon again with the sun.
Oh,
Team
man.
Glober, yeah. Is it so hard, Mechtoon? We are speaking about the earth, the ground.
But hey, according to what we saw in his footage there in TFE, Macton actually is the best person to talk about the sun because he saw it from very, very close. The sun was actually between the camera and his face many times, so he got close to the sun. I think he can talk about it. He has a good experience with the sun. We saw that.
He was almost on the sun, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the sun. He's just like, man, only Mactoon can talk about the sun.
Yeah. And now this scientific guy, he has nothing to say about about the sun, right? We are speaking, trying to prove the earth is flat or round, not the sun.
Middle school, where is the sun in relation to any person on the surface of the earth? So I propose saying, given a date and time and location, where is the sun in relation to where you are, both in a horizontal angle and a vertical angle? And those are typically called azimuth for the horizontal angle, and either zenith or elevation angle, or shortened often to just elevation. The angle is not often said then, but it is an angle. So where in relation.
That's why they are heliocentrists. That is the reason.
To any person is the sun, and so I can put together a model. The rest of us on the panel here can put together a model that will predict for any location and time the position that we expect the sun to be in relation to the globe. So that's I think pretty simple. And then once we have that, anybody on the Earth can test that. We don't even need to go travel anywhere. We can even do things like pull up some different webcams in different areas of the world to see if those are matching, or anybody can just contact somebody in a different country and see if they can measure it. And most people's smartphones can measure both of those angles with either for free or for rather cheap. So it's pretty easy to do and very reproducible.
So Mike, I'm just going to reiterate what you said, and then so I'm here. You guys may be able to see. I can look out of my window there, right? I got a big window. Boston's over there. So what you're saying is, if you're looking out in a frame, at any point the sun is across somewhere in the azimuth, which is a horizontal, and it's up at a particular location, right? That's some X1 and Y1, or X2 and Y2.
Yeah.
So everyone right now, if you look out your window, you're looking in a certain direction, and you yourself are located at a particular point on the Earth, globe or flat, and that's known as your longitude and the latitude of where you are. And then you're looking out. And Mike, the proposal here is we're looking at the location of the sun, and the globe earthers will come up with their model of taking in the location of the individual, the date and the time. What is it right now? It's 12:01 here, Saturday, November 8th. That will be the input into your hypothetical model or your hypothesis, and output will be, it'll predict where the sun should be. And then anyone here can go do that, because hopefully this will be published somewhere online, and someone can say, oh, the globe earth model says if I'm in this location, looking in this direction, the sun should be over there. And it is indeed over there, or it's not over there. If it's not over there, the earth is quote unquote not round, right? If you use your formulation. The flat earthers will come up with their own formulation. And if the sun is in that location, then they're right. If both are wrong or both are right, that means it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Great. Let's go over to the flat earth team and let them propose their proposal. One of the things we talked about is there's three sort of features we want. It should be ease of use. Anyone could be able to do it, because we want anyone listening here to be able to do this. So it's not like an elite group of people, only they can do with specialized equipment. The other thing was the cost, which means it's viable. It should be relatively low cost, and it should be ubiquitous, meaning it can be done anywhere. So those were three important criteria we discussed in the pre-meeting. So let's go over to the Ryan, Kevin, and Bobby, but who wants to present here?
I will present, yes. You see my screen share?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, let's make it screen share.
Yeah, you have it. Everyone can see it.
Yeah, I need to make it full screen.
Okay.
So for decades, pilots have relied upon a pair of focused, precisely angled radio frequency emitters. And I suppose the radio frequency plane test with the ILS system for the flat versus globe Earth observation. And the intro is that one RF emitter of that tower is focused direct in line with the horizon. The second is angled upward 6 degrees above that. They do this so that the plane's radar equipment can sense the signal strength of both. The pilot's primary flight display shows the results shown here in the circle of a process which is merely a comparison, constantly made by the aircraft receivers of the strength of those two radio frequency signals. When the received signals are the same strength, the primary flight display indicates that the craft is currently on the prescribed path of descent to the runway, typically a negative 3-degree slope, because as you see here, the midpoint between 0 angle from the bottom one and the 6-degree angle from the top one is 3 degrees. This slope is also called the glide slope. Airports, as a matter of safety, constantly update their.
So you guys are more or less understanding, right, what he's trying to put it out there, like two signals used during the landing where the pilots get the glide slope, right? The meeting of the two signals create a path, right? Where it's the strongest that's the glide slope, right? This is more or less he's trying to put it out there. But let's see where it proves or don't prove flat or globe.
Local runway barometric pressure for the benefit of the pilot. In proper, precise calibration of the altimeter on board the craft. This ensures the most accurate measurement of altitude during the test. So the objective is to fly a Cessna on a fixed altitude ILS intercept course, crossing the signal at either 20 or 90 nautical miles from the runway, and we are taking barometric altitude reading at the intercept point as well as a distance measurement using the ILS system hardware seen here. The approach and measurement can be made several times during a single flight in order to reduce the uncertainty. As we can see here, the pilot will circle the approached runway multiple times. This figure is a representation of the approach pattern and distance for the CYVR airport in Vancouver, Canada. As shown here, choice of airport will critically depend on whether the approach path is completely over water. The pilot will file a visual flight rules plan. Those have no mandatory flight levels to maintain for an approach pattern which conveniently uses an airspace which is farther away and at a higher altitude than the avenue which is typically involved when ATC is setting up a standard runway approach routes to the airport. The pattern should be flown at a fixed altitude of 6,360 feet above runway altitude. In flying at a static altitude, we eliminate any delay in the altimeter's reading of altitude, thusly optimizing its accuracy. In cases where the craft's autopilot hardware settings may only, I'm too far here. In cases where the craft's autopilot hardware settings may only permit 100-foot altitude resolution, the duty to fly at the proper altitude will rest on the pilot's ability to manually maintain the proper altitude, because the pilot can still visually see increments in between. As you see here in the circle, this primary flight displays altimeter has a 20 feet resolution, but we can see the 10 feet in between of the 20. The independent variables, meaning the factors we control or change on purpose, are the speed of the craft, the altitude of the craft, and the angle of the beams from the ILS tower. The dependent variables, meaning the outcome we want to measure, are the alignment with the 3-degree angle and the distance to the ILS tower, both shown on the primary flight display. A more detailed description of the entire process will be handed as a method document, which the pilot will use both as a guide to the flight particulars as well as the data collection he will need to fill out. We will do a run-through of that at the end. Just a quick overview of what he needs to fill out. So the prediction is, as shown here, the Earth is flat when flying at an altitude of 6,360 feet above the runway altitude. The craft should intercept the glide slope at 20 nautical miles from the ILS tower. If the Earth is convex, the craft should intercept the glide path at a point substantially closer, approximately 90.
Man, I thought the Globers were like, complicated. What the fuck? I never heard like such a complicated explanation to prove that the Earth is flat. That comes from a fucking Glober, man. That's a Glober.
Oh yeah,
theory
this
for
is what
flat
I
Earth.
wanted to say.
What the fuck?
Like which flat earther came up with this?
That's not a flat. You understand? That stinks like Glober shit. It has the stench of Globers. Who the hell talks about like take Aloha from Florida? He's got like 1,000 videos like proving that the Earth is flat. He's never gonna get close to that. And he explains it every way possible. So there's no way a flat earther will talk like that. That's like it's like a bad disguise. Like wow.
Yeah,
I
so
almost fell
for
asleep,
the
man.
people, oh yeah, for the people in the chat. So this is the thing also, right? So those two beams, when the plane intercept or enter that beam, is which is gonna define if the Earth is a flat or globe. How? If the plane intercepts at 20 miles, it's flat. If the plane intercepts at 19 miles, it's globe. 1 mile difference.
No, it's
Who the hell designed this experiment? And we are speaking about 30 seconds difference. 30 seconds different is going to be a flat or a globe.
So it's just like the feed it. It's a fake debate between again, like globers and fake flat earthers, and they're making look flat earthers like fucking idiots, like like trying to look like globers, but actually like not proving anything. It's a cheap trick. It's like so cheap. It's so like I don't know. What the hell is that?
Oh yeah, when I saw it also, I was like freaking out. Like, who the hell was this person? This is supposed to be from this guy named Man of Stone, who Dave White was saying, oh, he's the best. He's like come up with amazing things. This to screw up again, where they can play with the time and the numbers of 1 mile difference, of 30 seconds difference.
I don't get it. Like David Weiss is like agreeing with that guy. I don't understand what he said. Like Weiss is like
That David White was also mentioning. David White was mentioning on Vlad's that he's out because this and that, because he don't work with demons. But there's another guy named Man of Stone who's like really awesome for flat Earth, and he's the one who designed this one. He's the one who designed this experiment for flat earthers. I don't know who the fuck is this even Man of Stone is.
No, I don't think I heard that name before. Let's check him out.
And this guy named Kevin from Austria, this is not his experiment. It's from the other guy who's not allowed because I think McToon is the one who was saying like, looks like, I'm not sure, but according to all these things, looks like McToon is the one who was saying that the threat was coming from this guy named Stone. That's why he's not allowed. That is when they didn't allow him. So that's why this Kevin is here, right?
And Kevin doesn't have his own experiment, his own idea of why the Earth is flat.
No.
Does he have to bring something, somebody else's plan?
Exactly. So it's all looks like a setup. So
it is a setup. You gotta be fucking stupid to believe otherwise. It's a cheap setup, like a cheap setup. Oh man.
Nautical miles to the tower. The math to that is the following. In the case of scenario A flat, we apply the sine function, opposite divided by hypotenuse, and solve for the opposite divided by vertical side.
Vikka.
The opposite.
Look at the fucking guy. He's reading a fucking paper. He's fucking reading.
Oh yeah, because it's not his. It's not his. They are trying to contact him and give him things. But yeah, but this is the thing. Is these 3-4 globers and this guy alone? They say there was 3. The other flat earther didn't even do nothing. The so-called flat earther who was supposed to be with him was another guy.
They gave him like $500 and a free meal at the McDonald's, and he's reading a fucking paper for like 15 minutes. Yeah, those guys are fucking joking.
Opposite or vertical side The sine function of that 3-degree angle applied to the distance of 20 nautical miles yields a vertical distance above the runway of 6,360 feet. Hence, a craft which flies an approach of 6,360 feet above the runway altitude should intercept the 3-degree angle at the distance of 20 nautical miles from the ILS tower. Conversely, in the case of scenario B, the globe, the same sine function will yield the same conversely, the same sine function will yield the first vertical component.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you fucking believe it? He doesn't even know what to read. He didn't, he didn't have time to train. They just hired him in the street. They just found him in the street and said, "Hey, you want to make $500?" He just didn't have time to work his script. Oh man, this is we got to make a video on that, man. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Of that distance of 6,042 feet, add to that, due to the supposed globe's convexity, the value, which comes from the standard 8 inches per square miles, which is very accurate for up to 1,000 miles. The result is 318 feet. We obtain this value by applying the cosine of that same 3-degree angle in order to produce the x, or ground distance, component of 115,288 feet, or 21.83 miles. The total of these two components also yields a vertical sum distance of 6,360 feet to the ground from the craft. At this point, the craft should be 19 nautical miles from the ILS tower. Conclusion: this experiment involves a use of a collection of hardware which has been utilized for decades, where lives are at stake, in assistance to pilots of all kinds on approach to the runway, a process which makes use of a very necessarily precise light-based guided system. This method is easily replicable and repeatable. Replicable meaning multiple trials in one go, and it is as well repeatable at different locations and by different people. As the time it takes a Cessna to travel 1 nautical mile while flying at around 100 knots is a...
So you see on the screen 36-second difference, 1.5 mile difference. On a plane, with all these gatekeepers and sellouts trying to prove something there, with this difference of 36 seconds and 1.15 miles. Eat that, people.
Yeah, it's something that is reading. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, you know me. I don't like all that gibberish and everything. But I can explain in a few words, in one sentence, how the Earth is flat. I don't have to go into complex demonstrations. It's very simple. Even though there are experiments and everything that do exist, but if I was a flat earther, invited to that podcast there, I wouldn't be reading anything. I will just be talking normally, and just give a few examples, very simple, examples of how can you know that the Earth is flat. It's so simple. And that guy is going into complex demonstration, just like the Globers do. That means it comes from them. It was made by them. This is a fake argument, a fake flat earther with a totally, stupid demonstration there that doesn't go nowhere. And again, that's one more clue to that indicates that this was a fake meeting. It's a setup. What else can I do? Can they make a real meeting? They cannot make a real meeting. They cannot do it. If you and I go there, they will just we destroy them, all of them, real quickly, very quickly. So the thing is that they have to stage it. That's all they have. Mocking, insulting, and faking. That's what they have. And they're good at it.
Oh, yeah.
approximately 36 seconds, there exists a rather large margin of separation between those two distance values. This method objectively serves to eliminate virtually all uncertainty in the distance measurement itself. Through sufficient replication by a number of pilots flying at a number of airports, all uncertainty can be completely eliminated. So a video introduction I show now by a side-by-side animation which shows what the pilot will see in the PFD when on approach. The glide slope indicator involves a pink diamond, as we saw in the beginning, moving vertically on the gauge. When the diamond is in the center, that is the moment of interception of the 3-degree path. When the diamond is 1 dot above, the craft is intercepting the angle of 2.65 degrees. That is the point where the recordings of each approaches should begin. And we see the approach begin here.
What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, the difference, right? At 20 it's a flat, and 19 it's a round, right? It's trying to, yeah.
I tell you something. When I started investigating flatters, right? If I had found that guy like spinning flatters, I think I would have never came to flatters. I would have stayed like in the globe, on the globe side, man. Because that shit is saying, man, it's like it's for me. It's not clear. It's like it's crazy. It has nothing to do with like reality with all these numbers. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to prove.
So
But it's
so
like,
whoever was the so-called looks like, right? I don't know. According to listening to this, it looks like this Man of Stone is the one who designed. I don't know who is this Man of Stone designed this, but he couldn't come because these people didn't want him to come. So Kevin came. But according to my understanding, these are the people like Space Audit, Alan. In a way, the Globebusters gang, according to what I understand, is behind this for the flat Earth side. So just so that the people understand. You all know, right, that the Globebuster has a new team, right?
I don't know much. What is Globebuster? Remind me. I'm not sure I know what it is, what they are.
Globebuster, where what used to be Bob Nodell, Jaren, and all these Austin that they used to do this podcast, weekly podcast called Globebusters.
Okay.
Right. So it all changed since Jaren flipped and Austin flipped, right? So things have changed. Now they have another different team. So according to my understanding, this is what it looks like, right? There were the people involved in setting this up, the experiment, right? This experiment with Kevin and all these Man of Stone, blah, 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 whatever. That's what it looks like.
But I tell you something, Vika. When I identify somebody as a liar, like a convicted liar, that that lies on purpose and repeatedly and professionally, at that point I don't believe anything that comes out of him. So I know if they fake TFE, okay, we know that, but it's possible that they also fake the after TFE. Everything you're seeing now is Jaren and Austin and the problem between them and everything. I believe it's all fake, just as TFE was fake. They keep on faking everything, following a plan, like some kind of an objective, like some kind of a twisted objective. And I don't believe anything that they show us even after TFE, because those people are liars, and this is what you have to take into account in order to just to be careful not to believe what they're trying to sell you. So again, they're trying to also separate themselves from David Weiss and everything, and I don't believe they're like so very very far apart from him. So we have to be careful, about what they're
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
it call
set
could
us.
be even a. It could also be a setup. This, as you say, bro,
Yeah,
like playing like, oh, I don't speak to Jared. I don't speak.
everything,
Yeah, and,
everything,
and
even
this is the thing.
the.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. That's it, just to tell you everything. Even the Weiss, coming last time, insulting you and everything, all that shit. The Russian mule, all that shit. It's all stage. It's all fucking stage. It's all. There's nothing that's true and nothing. So we have to be careful. Be careful. We not to believe anything they're trying to make you believe. Especially that it was a fiasco and everything. I don't believe it was a fiasco. I'll explain you later. I believe that they've reached their objective, which was not to prove that the Earth is a globe. That's a cover story. But anyways, just it's like as long as somebody's a liar, don't trust anything he says. He's trying to show you, trying to tell you. It's like this. It's a part of the same lie. The same lie that keeps on going even after
Oh yeah,
TFE.
and exactly, and this is the thing as I was mentioning about the Globebuster and these people right now, more or less helping this guy or setting this up, this whole experiment, right? It's the same shit like what Globers do, like complicated shit. Like you don't have more easier thing, which is more simple, right? And the difference should be of maybe 20-30 miles, maybe 10 minutes difference, right? What is this 1 mile difference is gonna prove the earth is a globe? Who comes up with this shit? These are
Well,
the things, these are the people they want the community to still represent, right?
But it's normal. They have to make like a stupid, flat Earth, experiment. Like, they have to do that in order to be debunked easily by those Globers. So they have to come up with some stupid shit and say, oh, this is how we know that the Earth is flat. And then they're going to be debunked like fucking idiots. And this is again, it's a show. It's a show to, understand. That's a game. Come on, they think we're stupid. Those people are stupid. They think they can fuck with us. They think they can fuck with the flat Earth community. What are you, fucking stupid? You fucking crazy. You're dealing here with an elite of intellectuals. You fucking morons. What do you think? We're gonna believe you? We're gonna just, buy what you're saying? We won't see. We can read everything you have in mind. The eyes closed. Get the fuck out of here, all of you guys. This is a fucking joke. Those people are like, but we're not finished with them. We're not done with them yet. And the thing is that, Vika, I'm telling you, what's important is to understand their attack, understand their moves. Because there is some kind of an agenda behind all that shit, that TFE, and then all that game there, and that Shiva shit now. It's all linked, I believe. It's all linked somehow. It follows like one. It goes into one direction. So we have to
Oh yeah, same
understand
script, same script. Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
same
same
script.
script.
Exactly. And I believe what's going to come out of this is going to be the first steps into like how can I say that? First step into demonizing the flat Earth community, and first step into slowly making it like illegal. At one point, it's going to be a flat earther is going to be considered like illegal, criminal, and forbidden. That's the direction
Yeah,
it takes.
but this
That's
is
the
the
only thing
thing.
they have to.
Why?
They must do that.
Yeah, Sam. But why? Because we have representatives like these. That is the reason these things are happening, right? For example, apart from this bullshit of TFE, now with these people, right? They call, oh, these guys, Allen and all these guys and space audits and all these Globuster team are really smart and mathematically like intellectual guys. They understand maths and all this shit. And they come up with this shit. They come up with this
Look,
shit.
a guy that understands math doesn't have to say I understand math. He just proves it. You know, understand? Just like a scientist, a true scientist doesn't have to say, "Oh, I have a degree in this and that." You shut the fuck up. Just show us what you know and try to act as a scientist. That means, show us that you like, you know how to be fair, you know how to be inquisitive, dig, and most of all, to show us that you care about people, because the point of understanding things is then to explain them to those that are, that cannot understand them the way you did. So the whole point of, like learning and is after that to teach. You understand? So a good scientist should be, first of all, a good teacher. You understand? So so these people are not scientists. They have nothing to do with, like, what a true scientist should act like and should be like. So again, all this is logic. It's natural. It makes sense. It's like, it's simple. And the thing is that, again, we have to realize that the flat earth community is a target for them, because, again, it's a random movement of people, awake, people that are being, that are awakening on truth and on the lies of what's going on, not only just on the shape of the earth, but on the shape of our societies, on the shape and mechanisms of our societies that we live in. And so they cannot afford to have such a random movement, international movement of people waking up, without being under control. So they have to control that. And if they cannot control it, they have to destroy it. So they're trying to control it with, like, Wise and Sergeant and everything. So they're making, like, they bring these people in place to, to canalize, to act as a catalyzer, to bring in all that energy towards them so they can control it. But if they cannot control it, they're gonna just, like, destroy it. But they have to. That's the thing they have to do. But in order to do that, they're gonna have to, follow a certain procedure. First, to show that, we're stupid and we are anti-scientific, anti-democratic, and criminals, and then, of course, like, dangerous sect, whatever. That's what they're saying. They're starting to say it already.
And if exactly, and if that is the case, and so why this so-called the mathematics, these flat earthers understand that this group of people, and they're so good at maths and science and for making this experiment. Why don't you all do this experiment by yourself? Yeah. Why don't you ask? Why don't you ask? Yeah. Why don't you ask Dave Weiss? Yeah, that is fucking grifting on that level to make a fucking experiment. Put in some money, Dave Weiss. You care about flat earth so much. Yeah, make an experiment with all these intelligent people you have there, that you put them up here for this bullshit. Yeah, and make the experiment. Why you need Globers and why you need Dr. Shiva, or why you all need these clowns here to prove the flat earth? Right?
Well, that's the
you
thing.
You guys are not gonna do it. You guys are not gonna do it because Dave Weiss is too busy grifting. Right? He had to sell his app. Yeah, you don't have time and money to do a simple experiment, right? Yeah, or even or not even put by his or not even put by his pocket. Just crowdfund it, right? For sure, people might help too, right? No, for these things we don't have time.
Look,
right? For these things, I am traveling and I'm doing things, and I'm in a conference being a protagonist. I'm in a webinar being protagonist, asking people for money. For all this, we have time, guys. For all this, we have time, money, resources, and everything, right? But we don't have a time and money and resources to do an experiment by ourselves and associate with these sellouts like Will Duffy and McToon and Dr. Shiva and making flat earth look ridiculous.
So it's not only this, but also you're going to see dangerous also. That's the point. The thing is that, I know that it's not easy for people to accept it at that point because it's not clear yet. I didn't explain that clearly yet. But we investigating on all that what's going on in the flat earth community, and I'm telling you here in Israel we have some good people, good thinkers, and I'm telling you something. When you take a look at Maktoum, David Weiss, Will Duffy, Anthony Powell, all these people, even to how to call it, Neil Disgrace Tyson there, and all these people, they all are the moving parts of the same mechanism. It's one big army with different sections, different. It's different moving parts, exactly that, different moving parts of the same mechanisms, and it doesn't look like it. It says, "Oh well, that has nothing to do." What's the connection between Weiss and Neil Tyson? Was the connection between Duffy and whatever? You understand? But they are there because they complete each other. They do complete. When you analyze it, they complete each other. They all are acting, according to the same plan. And it makes sense. You're gonna see it makes sense. I'm gonna try to explain that. You know what I'm trying to do. So the thing is that that's what we have to understand, and that it's not easy to understand. It's hard because it's deep. These things have been planned like for a long time. And what's at stake? It's huge, and the people behind that have money without limit, and and they're investing everything they can against that. So that's not easy. That's not easy for us to wake up at that level, but we will have to at one point. You're going to see, flat earth is going to bring us to understand things, very, very deeply on everything. So again, this is the way I see it.
Exactly, and then we hear saying, "Oh, flat earthers don't reach mainstream media because of flat earther." Really, it doesn't progress because of people like these have been infiltrated from a decade. That is the reason it
Exactly.
doesn't progress.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, man. We're
Go and
living
do some
something
real
special.
science and don't depend on Globers.
So again, they're trying to disprove us, at a scientific level, at a human level, at every level. You understand? But again, when you take a look at it, they are only targeting, only aiming at the flat earth community, not at flat earth itself. And this is what we have to understand. Even though they try to disprove the flat earth model, but by trying to disprove it so much, and by creating like thousands of channels and talking about it 1,000 times a day, all over the place, they are also promoting that idea of flat earth towards people that don't know about flat earth, that never heard about this, or that just don't care about this. So on one side, they're publicizing flat earth, you understand, but also targeting the flat earth community, really. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, that the attacks on flat earth itself are like some kind of simulated. They're not real, because if you want to something not to spread, you're not going to talk about it all the time. Even if you talk bad about it, there's no such thing as a bad publicity. So when you talk about something like all the time, it's going to be known. People are going to say, "Oh, what is that thing of flat earth? Let's check it out." They don't want that to happen, officially. But it seems to me that they want that to happen for some kind of very good reason. I'll explain more. For now, I cannot say much because I'm still investigating. But that's the game.
Yeah,
It's a huge
this
game.
is the
It's a
thing. The
huge
people.
game.
Oh yeah, this is the thing. The people need to wake up and see, right? Open their eyes and see, especially all this year what happened, and these few weeks. It shows a lot. It shows a lot. It says a lot if you connect the dots, right? And these kind
Exactly.
of people, they're putting themselves out there. Oh, we are the face of flat earth, right? People need to really think about it. Like, how the fuck is this happen, and where is gonna take us, right?
Exactly.
With this kind of
The thing is, if you have people that pretend not to be flat earth leaders, but they put themselves in a position where they are representing flat earth, So that's kind of dangerous because then they can put themselves in a position where they can discredit flat earthers. People are going to look at them like, hey, you see here, that's the guy that the biggest flat earther around, and he fucked up, or he's been proven wrong, or he's lying. So it's like in Judaism. Jews never had a uniform until like 250 years ago, when people in Eastern Europe decided, to dress the Jews like, with a certain way. It never happened. But it's very dangerous because as soon as you have a uniform, so you can have anybody that is not Jewish or whatever that can put that uniform on, and people are going to believe that he's Jewish because he's wearing a suit and hat and so that's the point. When you have a representation of something, so you can manipulate that what it does represent very easily. So that's the thing. But anyways, we still
and
have
the
some
best
time
part is,
to.
the best, bro. The best part is that the majority is falling for it. That's the best part. So
Yeah, of course,
good
of
luck
course.
to flat earth community.
I tell you something. In the fight for the truth, it's always a small group of people that is fighting another small group of people, and in the middle you have the masses. You understand? So it's always been like this. And again, my point for me is not to awaken everybody. It's just to awaken the best of the best. A few people, a few very good people, and out of this, organize ourselves in order to awaken the masses, but not to convince everybody, because we we like outgun. We like they have too much control on the masses yet. So we have to just do what they did, just bring together like the best ones, the best of us, and and work together, and then grow like a core, like when you have a core and then the fruit builds around it.
A- Absolutely. The best part is the TFE has helped to see all these things happen. Imagine if TFE wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have seen this. And we all will be in the la la land. Like, everything is,
exactly.
this community is so awesome. We should have a picnic and get together
Exactly.
and sing and dance under the tree. We have flat earthers. We have changed the world. Like,
Like fucking Woodstock, man. And that's the point. That's the thing, is that if people believe that, being a flat earther is just like, discussing about flat earth, and smoking a joint, they're out for like, big surprise, because it's going to be tough, on people, to look for the truth is going to be, it's hard. It's not something that's going to be like agreeable. It's going to be like very tough, because it's going to bring you to be responsible. When you know things, knowing things, knowledge comes with responsibility. What are you going to do with your knowledge? Nothing. You understand? So you have to act. You have to react at one point. That's not easy. Not everybody can do
and
it.
this is the thing. The people, I understand people have hard time in getting some of this shit, but many didn't thought about Jaren flipping, Austin not flipping, but he's flipped, selling a 24-hour sun, right? So it's almost like flipping. So this is the thing. The same goes to with Dave Weiss. Many people have a problem that what's with Dave Weiss, but all the thing that came out with TFE, nobody should be trusted. I would tell fucking nobody should trust Dave Weiss.
Well, I tell you something.
Right?
We didn't force Dave Weiss to say what he said. To do what he did. We didn't say that. We only as flat earthers, we only like opening our eyes and exposing people for what they are. We don't create nothing. We don't accuse nobody of nothing. We just expose them. They're accusing themselves. They're fucking up themselves. We don't do nothing. We stay the same. I'm the same like from 2 years ago when I started doing flat earth. I didn't change. I didn't flip. Everything I said then, I can say it now. I have no problem. I'm stable in my thoughts. But these people.
Oh yeah.
I've been caught lying. I've been caught acting suspiciously. So we have to understand what's going on. And it's very important, even more important than flat earth, because these people are amongst us, like, supposedly with us. So we have to understand what their agenda is, because we're being under attack. An enemy that's among you is much more dangerous than an enemy far away.
Oh,
Is
oh yeah, exactly. The snake next to you is more dangerous than the one far away in the farm. So this is the thing with the TFE brought reality to many things, right?
Exactly.
And same way, we don't feel sad that the Jaren flipped, right? We give a fuck, right? Anybody can flip. We don't give a fuck, right? The only thing is, like, 10 years he was representing flat earth, right? Or 7 years he was representing flat earth, right? What happened? What happened?
The thing is,
in that simple form, what I mean to say is, as we don't trust Jaren, we don't trust Austin, we don't need to trust David Weiss, because he fucking lied about that he had nothing to do with Dave Weiss, with Will Duffy, and all the emails and this came out. For us, that's enough to not trust Dave Weiss.
But the thing is, again,
do whatever fuck you guys want to do it, or don't trust, or trust, do whatever you want. My opinion, after that lie being caught, it says a lot, and he shouldn't be trusted.
Well, that's
Nothing
the drop
personal.
that, that's the drop, that makes the glass, spill over. But the thing is that, again, when we say that they flipped, the reality is that they never did flip, because they never were on our side. And this goes deeper. It's not, someone flips or someone that betrays you. At one point, he was, part of you. He was with you. But these people, when you analyze, they never really were. They pretended they were. From the very beginning, they were placed there playing a role. So you believed that they were flat earthers and they were with us and they were playing, like, because they were playing that role. But now they're exposing themselves for what they always were. You understand? And that's the thing that goes deep. Is that it goes beyond treason. It's not just about treason.
Oh, with Jaren, bro, with Jaren, for example, with Jaren and Austin, I could already see it before. Even before TFE. Because the way these people were behaving and whatever,
So
right? Already, and not only me, it's not only me, that for sure was many other people who already have seen these guys doing strange shit, right? So the same goes for Dave Weiss. And he's showing it to the people already with the way he behaved during the TFE, and the way he was defending, and the way he got Will Duffy in the scene, and all these guys, how much exposure they gave him to Will Duffy, right? So people might be not seeing it now, but they will see it soon.
Yes, that's the thing, is that, people don't understand, because, David Weiss is still promoting flat earth. Truly, there's no problem. It's just like talking about flat earth, working hard to promote flat earth. So people don't understand. So what the hell? So maybe he fucked up a little bit, but he did so much for the community, he did so much for flat earth, and they're being seduced, by this. But again, there are many examples of evil people that play both sides all the time. For example, the Queen of England, or the King of England, I don't know who it was at that time, are the ones that allowed the Jews to come back, here on their land. But in the same time, when they did that, what you maybe don't know, they also supplied all the Arab armies, 7 Arab armies, with the latest military equipment to go to war against us. You see, so they play both sides. You understand?
Yeah, but this is the thing. Yeah. One example. Sam. Same with TFE and same with this, right? Dave was playing both the sides. He set up the whole TFE shit with Will Duffy, and just disappeared, and we are against Will Duffy. We are against McToon. We are like fighting this, right? Same shit now with this Shiva thing, right? So playing both sides.
Exactly, playing both sides and following an agenda. And this is what we have to understand. Now, people that still don't get it, or still are saying, we shouldn't, fight among flat earthers and everything. Well, you have to define what is a flat earther. A flat earther is somebody that seeks the truth and wants to understand the truth. So if you guys see that you have flat earthers that are saying other things about what you believe to be flat earthers, or what they say are not flat earthers, your role as a flat earther is to double check. It's not to just like stick with your beliefs, because then at that point you become a glober again. You understand? A flat earther is supposed to check things out. You have people saying things about why it's about, just check it out. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, but check it out. But you don't check it out because you don't like to check it out, because you like, the way, you see David Weiss, you see, because he's a nice guy. When you take a look at it, he's likable. So people tend to just ignore that, say, okay, just no, this everything is okay, it's bullshit, and that's not the flat earth
Yeah, well, they're gonna
attitude.
get they're gonna get a bigger spectacle and a bigger surprise than TFE, because
Oh, yes.
this is the reason TFE happened, because the people looked in different direction instead of questioning all these so-called representatives. Right now they're having a hard time. Right, no worries, it's gonna be a bigger psyop, right, at a bigger level, right, where they're
Oh,
gonna
yes.
try to break the flat earth community for all, right? And will the how you say, Dave Weiss is showing all the colors, even though many
Exactly.
people don't want to see it, right?
Exactly.
He's showing all the colors of playing around with the community, right?
Exactly. So
And
that's
he
the thing.
wants to be now. He wants to show everybody that he's the saint. He's doing a lot, right? Oh yeah, we
just
can
have
see through it.
people have to understand something. The flat earth community is more important than flat earth itself. Why? Because without the flat earth community, there is no flat earth. You can forget about flat earth. You understand? That's why they are targeting the flat earth community. They can promote flat earth. It doesn't matter, because if tomorrow you don't have any flat earth community anymore, so the notion of flat earth will disappear. They can make it disappear like very easily, because there's nobody that's going to defend it. You understand? It's open for the taking. So the thing is that, again, the flat earth community at that point today is more important than flat earth, because this is what is going to allow flat earth to be recognized and to be used as a mean to set us free. So without the community, you have nothing. You understand, and that's why they're when you see people that are insulting the community, or just fighting the community, just that's a major red flag. Major red flag. You have to be careful. Flat earth, it's easy to say that the earth is flat. Yeah, no problem. But how can you despise the flat earth community in the same time? It's not possible. It's not logical. It's not sane. It's something out of place, because the flat earth people have proven themselves being smart, being good, and you cannot say that they're stupid and they're reckless. It's impossible. They can be wrong on many things, and also myself, I can be the witness of this, because there are a lot of people that are wrong about great many things, but I can never say that they're stupid. And because since they are flat earthers, it's a question of time until they understand that they're wrong. So they're gonna find the truth. Again, the truth gonna find them, and that's the point. So you cannot say that's stupid. We were all wrong at one point, believing in the globe, and then we got smart. So don't believe anybody that's going to tell you that the flat earth community is stupid, is reckless. You know, especially not people supposed to represent flat earth. That's a major red flag.
Oh yeah,
So
and I don't give a f, right, that people need 20 proofs to know what is wrong or if somebody's lying. I don't give a fuck. For me, enough is enough, right? For me, the whole year of TFE and how everything evolved and how Dave was fucking behaving and how he behaved and how everything came out. For me, it's more than enough.
Of course.
I'm not here to play around. I'm not here to go around the bushes. Hey man, maybe it's this, maybe that. For me, even one sign is enough.
Well, a proof,
Right.
the definition of a proof is to establish a fact. So that's just like I say about flat Earth. I don't need like 1,000 proofs to know that the Earth is flat. I know it's flat. I look at the horizon. I know that there is no curve. It's flat. It's over. Then you can add up to that. But that's enough for me. That's enough. Then you can go. We can go on and talk about other things. So where's everybody today? Where's Vlad? Where's everybody, man? What's going on?
No idea, but yeah, everyone doing their things, so it's good. It's good, and this is the thing. Yeah, as I said, we all experienced all these things together here, and we saw how it evolved, right? So, yeah, blindly expecting or accepting whatever bullshit. We are not here for this, guys. I'm not here for this, right?
And remember,
I'm not gonna stop. If I see bullshit, I'm gonna call it a bullshit, and I'm gonna call it out. I don't give a fuck who it is.
And that's one of the things that make a flat earther, because I'm going to tell you something. Being a flat earther it goes way beyond just understanding that the Earth is flat. McToon understands that the Earth is flat. NASA understands it. Everybody understands the Earth is flat. They're not flat earthers for that. You understand? Being flat earthers is being able to stand for the truth, to fight for it, to promote it, to expose the lies, and to fight for them. And I tell you something: if tomorrow the flat earth, movement is considered to be like, a criminal entity or sect or something evil or illegal, you're gonna see who's gonna be the who's gonna stay flat earther. Like maybe like half the people are gonna just like give up the flat earth movement. They're gonna just run away, and only the true flat earthers are gonna stay and fight for it. And it's not easy. It's not given to everybody. It's hard. It's hard. That flat earth thing is is some kind of a trap, a good trap. Trap to set us free. But it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. According to what I see now, man, we gotta prepare for for grand assaults.
Good things don't come easy, brother. Right?
No, of course not. A burst comes with pain, Of course, but that's the best. This is good.
So
This is good.
yeah, so we all should know that as flat earthers, it was not easy. It's not gonna be easy, right?
No, it
hurdles and obstacles is always gonna be there, but that's the best part. We all kind of like wanted this in our life, right? Why the flat earthers, right? Of having this experience and going against the grain and all these things, right? It's part of our evolution. So be prepared for a good climax. Be prepared for things that is suspense, right? Be prepared that it's not going to be easy. Be prepared that that good things don't come easy, right?
Yes.
And easy win is not really a win, right? So have fun, guys. You all asked for it.
But
right?
I tell you something, on the other side, you shouldn't be scared, because we're not alone. In that fight for the truth, we're not alone. We have help. Believe me, we have like, we're not alone. And I don't want to talk about like, God or whatever, but I know that we're not alone, and never people that did fight for the truth, just like, fought alone. So you're gonna see that in that fight for the truth, you're gonna see like people are gonna get up in the world that are maybe not flourishers, at first, but they're gonna just like join the fight. And God is also an actor in all this. Don't believe that he's not a player in that game. He's a big time player. And you're gonna see that we're gonna win like But again, not be scared, not be scared, because the fears on the other side. Those guys are scared. That's why they're doing everything they're doing. They're desperate, and they're fucking scared shitless. Believe me, because they know that their fake world is coming to an end. So that's it. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can share with you.
Oh yeah. We are almost 3 hours, bro. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave it for tonight for here, and we will continue next week with the rest of this. And yeah, guys, I know it's hard, and it truth hurts, but what can we do?
Okay, but just we wait. The time is with us. Every second, every minute we hold, it's a victory. The time goes against them, but the time is with us. That's 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this is the thing also, right? We see like people of being awake and are really researchers and investigators and all this stuff, but still the people are so much like limited due to some things, the way they see, right, and are limiting themselves because of some of this so-called relation with some of these people, that they don't see beyond what is happening. It's like it's being so much blinded by some things or by some people that you don't see the truth. You don't see the big picture, right? What is happening? But I know that is not very few people. There are a lot of people, especially here in this chat, and many people there who's seeing this bullshit, and who's been seeing this bullshit for a very long time. The only thing is that everything now is coming in focus and in question, and is audited under the microscope, especially with TFE, right? So.
But let me go out because I have a communication problem. I cannot hear you good. Let me leave and come right back. Wait a second.
Alrighty. Yeah, I have my signal back. I don't know what I'm gonna. Mic check. Am I good now? Or I hope you guys hear me well. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, it's me. Okay, looks like saying I'm on maybe some issue. I don't see less bars or something. All right, guys. Maybe there's an echo or.
Yeah, Vikka, I don't know if it's your mic, but it's terrible. It looks like it's an alien spaceship that is like trying to communicate with me. I cannot hear you good.
All right, guys. We're gonna call it a day. All right.
Okay.
See you, Sam. I'll see you guys next.
Take care. Good
next week.
Good to be here. Take care.
All right. Bye, guys. I cut it out because of the technical stuff. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. You know the rules. Bring proof or bring silence. Yeah. They show up loud, talk tough, claim they're guided by science, but the second you ask for measurements, they crumble in defiance. I say, show me experiments, observable, testable, clear, but they dodge like shadows at daylight, disappear when truth is near. Start throwing insults like they're evidence, funny but predictable, cause when proof ain't in the arsenal, the anger gets political. I stay grounded in the measurable, the method that don't bend, but they rather fight with feelings than let real data defend. You want debate? Cool, bring facts that you can verify, but talking loud without experiments, that's just noise amplified. Prove it or move it, simple as that, no excuse. If you ain't got evidence, then spare me the verbal abuse. I'm standing on science, repeatable, solid and true. If you can't demonstrate the claim, what you say ain't coming through. Prove it or move it, yeah, that's the rule of the game. No data, no dialogue, step back and stay in your lane. Ask them for curvature tests, suddenly they get emotional. Ask them for rotation proof, reactions borderline devotional. They defend their theory like religion, faith-based and untouchable. But the minute you request a demonstration, the vibe gets uncomfortable. I ain't threatening their worldview, I'm holding up a mirror. But reflection's a scary thing when the picture isn't clearer. I'm not hostile, I'm honest, I want science that's accountable. But they'd rather throw a tantrum than admit the claim's unfoundable. I'm not here to worship models built on theory from the past. Show me tests, not textbooks, physical proof that lasts. Prove it or move it, simple as that, no excuse. If you ain't got evidence, then spare me the verbal abuse. I'm standing on science, repeatable, solid and true. If you can't demonstrate the claim, what you say ain't coming through. Prove it or move it, yeah, that's the rule of the game. No data, no dialogue, step back and stay in your lane. Debate ain't war, it's questions with structure. But you can't build a case on belief and conjecture. Show me something testable or show me the door, but don't show up with insults like I ain't heard them before. Prove it or move it, bring experiments, not rage. I'm standing with the evidence, you just standing on a stage. If truth is what you're claiming, then proof should be displayed. No test, no trust, that's how real science is made. Prove it or move it. Choose one.